Gelco gift cards are always a perfect fit. Merry Christmas from Gelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we'll see mostly cloudy skies in the north with an isolated rain shower, while we'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies down south, highs in the mid-50s. Skies become cloudy area-wide tonight with scattered rain showers, lows in the lower 40s. Cloudy on Tuesday with rain and some thunder likely, highs around 50. Cloudy with scattered rain showers Tuesday night, lows in the lower 50s. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3.
I mean, there's a better part of 2 hours on sports radio getting after me because I mispronounced the quarterback's name.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that's the perspective. And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones, man, take it to the house.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad we showed them at halftime.
What ain't but one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Morning. Happy Monday. Happy Christmas Eve. Happy Festivus. Great to be with you. It's like a Friday-ish Monday if we've ever had one here on ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com and the Hit That Line Now app. Phil Olsen, my partner Matt Jones, Christian Johnston is producing. And, man, this is just like a little standalone show in the middle of a 5-day period where we just have this one show to do. You had some football to watch Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. Here we are today. Tomorrow, no show on Wednesday. So, I mean, this is – I don't even want to call this a Monday today, Matt, because it doesn't feel like a Monday. It doesn't feel like a Friday. It's just a whole other thing. Guess we can just go with Festivus. Does that fit?
Happy Festivus. Absolutely, man.
All
I got don't worry about your Christmas presents. I've already donated it to the Human Fund, but I donated it in your name, Phil.
Little did you know that I'm on the board of directors of the Human Fund, so I will have at least a little bit of a decision in how that money is spent. Yeah, hey, it's good to see it today. It was right next to you at Gelco on Friday, and now as I'm looking through my iPad, you can see this little room that I'm doing the show in, which used to be my bedroom here in my parents' house. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is where I'll be until the Liberty Bowl, until Thursday. I had the Memphis Thursday, Liberty Bowl Friday. So, yeah, this is the office that my mother and my father share. They'll do a lot of work in here together, and this used to be my bedroom up until about, I guess, the age of 7 or 8 or something like that. So it also turns into my little studio whenever we make the trip to the ancestral homeland here of Pittsburgh. So home for the holidays. I guess that's what you're usually supposed to do. And to be honest, I don't remember if it was 2018, the last time I might have been here for Christmas and Hanukkah around the same time. And this year is different because it's very different when Hanukkah and Christmas actually are the same day. Well, the start of Hanukkah, which is 8 days. So yesterday was a lot of travel from the morning until the night. And today was just sort of one of those days to it's a little bit of recovery from the travel. And then to go outside and see there's actually snow on the ground. So I don't even think I'll see any snow in Arkansas for the wintertime. Home for the holidays. That's right. And everybody left so that I can do my work, and it doesn't really feel like holidays because we're working today. Football, Matt. What'd you think about our playoff games on Friday and Saturday? We were all fired up about it, and there wasn't a single really good game. It was kind of fun to watch still, but it just weren't great games.
No, it's everybody gets a trophy, and they can act like it's not, but that's what those games were. It was just to let these guys get in. Indiana and SMU had no business being in this thing. I mean, you go back and look at who Indiana beat and who SMU beat. It's like, I don't know, man. You got to take. Would SMU go 9-3 with Alabama's schedule? I don't know. Would they have done what South Carolina? I don't think so. And so. But I get it. You got to let everybody kind of be involved, and so it was it's what they're doing in the World Cup. They're adding extra teams, so when you have a bigger pool to start with, you get a lot more blowouts. You don't get the game like these next week of games. I think would be better, but that's just part of it. When it's kind of like your 15-2 and 16-1 matches up in the NCAA tournament, you're going to get a lot of blowouts when you get it set up like this.
Well, the Tennessee blowout against Ohio State was one that just I didn't see that one coming. I did think that physically they'd be able to withstand, but they just couldn't get anything going offensively. And, hey, you said it from, I think by the time we started talking about this college football season, if we were to go into February, this February, you pointed out Ohio State you thought would be the national champs. They continue to play like that. They will be. And watching that game, it made me think the same thing as when I saw as when Ole Miss came into Fayetteville and laid waste to the Razorbacks. You're thinking, well, how the heck did Kentucky beat that team in Oxford? And I'm thinking the exact same thing about how did Ohio State get beaten by Michigan in a game that's supposed to mean everything to them in their own stadium. It made absolutely no sense. But you look at Tennessee and how they performed in this. They have out of the 4 teams that lost,
and I think their running back was hurt because I was like,
yeah, he barely played.
Sampson. I mean, I was watching the game at a buddy's house, and it was like, how did they not have Sampson get the ball in the first 50? And then all of a sudden they're down 21-0, and now they can't. They were all out. I mean, that was the worst thing that could have happened to Tennessee. They couldn't kind of withstand that early onslaught.
Those games felt like they were over by the time you got into the second quarter.
Notre Dame, that Love kid, oh my good, he runs at 10,500 meters. That's Sunday speed. And I don't know if you noticed this, Phil, but on his last carry, he kind of twisted his ankle and didn't really come back in. So that's war of attrition, extra game, all that stuff. He's their best player. That's who Georgia have to stop because he cut the edge on him a couple times, and you weren't getting him.
What do we have? We've got 8 days until the first quarterfinal, which is Penn State, Boise in the Fiesta Bowl. I mean, it's one thing I'm not sure if I took into account when it came to this playoff, and you're looking at how the NFL does playoffs. Usually you're playing 7 days after the last game you played. In this case, you get about a week and a half, even 10 days after the quarterfinals before the semifinals, so maybe a little bit of extra time to heal. But, yeah, and everybody's did the committee get it right or everything? And I kind of wonder if maybe the conferences need to rethink the way that they schedule. Because if you're going to do these giant conferences, you're going to end up, just look at the SEC, 16 teams, you only play 8 games. I just don't know if the way that we're scheduling is helpful for trying to figure out what teams actually belong in the playoff, right? It's like I can understand Indiana making it to a playoff if they're part of a league that is viewed as a power 2 and win 11 games. And also by the idea that they blew the snot out of them at the same time. I didn't have a problem with Indiana getting in. Did it look like they belonged when it came right down to it? No, absolutely not. So how are we supposed to view Tennessee with 2 losses, a team that didn't look like they belonged against Ohio State. Does that mean that South Carolina or Alabama was supposed to get in with the 3 losses? We have all of these opinions on how this is supposed to get done. And Matt, the way that this is all figured out now, I don't know if you can actually fix it. I really don't. Because you're going to end up with, if you're going just by strength of schedule, you end up with an 11-1 team that misses a playoff that's in the Big Ten, right? And whether or not Indiana belonged, based on how they looked in that game, they had the sort of regular season that, to me, sort of fits in this.
And I don't have a problem with Indiana being in. I don't know. I wasn't trying to say that. I don't have a problem with S. Those are the rules. But you could tell that they were outclassed right away. But same thing kind of with Ohio State and Tennessee. But with Notre Dame, Indiana, you knew. It didn't take the first quarter. You knew. You said, uh-oh, that's it. Same thing with SMU. You're like, oh, man, they don't really belong on that field. But who knows? Would Ole Miss and South Carolina and Alabama, if you would have taken 2 of those 3 games and put them in where SMU and Indiana was, do you think one of those teams could? Maybe. But I don't know. I still think Notre Dame wins.
Well, it's because they're more talented teams. Look,
Right.
South Carolina, Alabama are just more talented teams than SMU, than Indiana. But you're not going just by talent. You got to go by what that talent did in the games that they're scheduled to play. So, yeah, look, you're just going to end up with more of these blowouts in first-round games as long as we're doing it this way. That's just how it's going to be. And I thought you would see at least 1 or 2 close ball games, and I tried to will into existence the idea that Quinn Ewers was going to throw a couple of poorly timed picks. But Texas just was that much more physical and just able to run the ball down Clemson's throat. If Texas continues to run anything like that, and Clemson's got a pretty stiff front 7, that's going to be a tough team. That's going to be a tough one. And look, 38-24 against Clemson. I appreciate what Arizona State has done this year, but what is Texas going to do to Arizona State if they're able to run for 250 yards, right? Arizona State did well holding against the run this year. But
you not think Penn State's thinking we get Boise?
Exactly.
That's the one, like we were talking Notre Dame, Indiana. I thought that one was the lock, which apparently Bill King and Dudley were right. All the chalk went through week 1.
And I also want, you're in this playoff system where you get 1 home game and then you're going to neutral sites the rest of the way. The home site turned out to be, outside of the talent, the second biggest reason why some of these teams won. Once that first pick 6 for the poor SMU quarterback occurred, you could see him shaking in his boots. And you could kind of feel, even though Indiana played with such poise all throughout the season, on that Friday night in that stadium in front of that crowd, they wilted. And I think SMU, it's the same thing. SMU played games in front of 35,000 people, and that was a sellout in a lot of cases. It's a little bit different when you're going to a stadium like Beaver, and it's over 100,000 people. And do you remember when you see Jennings go into his hands to his ears and he couldn't hear? That to me was not the top reason why SMU lost, but that's one thing where you're like, all right, you played really well throughout the year. You're going to have to play your best game times 2 in order to pull out a victory in this one. So now you end up with, okay, so what do we think about these matchups? Notre Dame and Georgia, heavyweights. Man, that's going to be great. Ohio State and Oregon. If the first time they met wasn't entertaining enough, how about those 2 teams playing at the Rose Bowl now? Texas and Arizona State, Penn State and Boise. I mean, I'm interested in Penn State and Boise. I'm interested in Texas, Arizona State. But if we're going to pick which of these games ends up with blowouts that are similar to the ones that we just saw, it's right there for you to see. So I feel like this playoff this year, Matt, is kind of like a little bit of an experiment, because I don't think the way that we set up the playoff is the proper way to set up the playoff. This might be, I think it has to be, the only year that there are automatic buys that go to conference champions. Heck, maybe the idea of why are we even doing automatic buys may end up being a thing to think about here.
I'm telling you, Oregon, man, their draw for being the number 1 overall seed, they get Ohio State, and then if they beat Ohio State, they get Texas. Like they're like what happened?
Yeah. Great thing they won the Big Ten, right?
Woo!
So that's where we start halftime today, and it'll be, again, it's like a Friday-ish, Monday kind of a thing, and Festivus here. So lots of time for your calls and texts. We'll be talking with Mike Irwin, Pig Trail Nation, in about 17, 18 minutes or so. Dr. Charlie Liggett will stop by from River Valley Smile Center for 3 Up, 3 Down, and lots of time for your calls and texts as we go throughout halftime today. That number is 877-377-6963. Quick break. We'll get into what's going on with Arkansas football in just a moment here on the day that they travel to Memphis.
Who wants an orange whip? Orange whip? Orange whip? 3 orange whips.
This is halftime.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Some say Taco Bell's new crispy chicken nuggets break all the nugget rules. We say yeah, that's the point. Because crispy tortilla chips make a better breading than bread. And all white meat chicken should be the norm, not that spongy stuff. And above all, nugget sauces should surprise you, like our new Hidden Valley Fire Ranch sauce, which blends 2 iconic flavors, Taco Bell Fire Sauce and Hidden Valley Ranch. So don't be a nugget of Nelly. Give Taco Bell's new crispy chicken nuggets a try today. Participating stores for limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
Hi, I'm True Tollett with WT Equipment in Springfield. As the year ends, we're motivated to move inventory and meet all your equipment needs. Take advantage of year-end pricing on New Holland, Bobcat, Hustler, Steel, and more across our 8 locations in Arkansas and Louisiana. Stop by for a cup of coffee or visit us online at WTEquip.com. Thank you for your business, and we wish you a Merry Christmas, a safe New Year, and a prosperous 2025.
The holiday season can be stressful. Luckily, Dave and the crew at Eastside Liquor has everything you need for this time of year. Crowded homes, annoying relatives call for peppermint schnapps, or maybe you're just a typical brown water guy. It really doesn't matter, because Eastside Liquor can take care of everything you need. 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith with a convenient drive-thru, and you can call them 479-452-7311. Eastside Liquor, everyday low prices on beer, wine, spirits, and cigars.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Courtside with Fort Smith Public Schools.
You know, one of the things that the way I like to coach, I solicit a lot of feedback from the girls. And there's that language that you develop with your players that those seniors already know. And so when I'm asking them to do something, they can translate it for me, you know, or when I'm needing feedback from them, they kind of know what I'm wanting to hear.
Coaches take you inside on what's going on in Fort Smith sports. New episode every week on the Hit That Line podcast network and on hitthatline.com. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
get a shiver in the dark. It's raining in the park, but meantime, sound of the river, you stop and you hold everything. A band is blowing Dixie, double ball time. Feel alright when you hear the music ring. And I step inside, but you don't see too many faces. Coming in out of the rain, they hear the jazz go down. Competition in other places. But the horns, they blowing that sound. Way on down south. Way on down south.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Well, it looks like we got 70% chance of rain for Friday's Liberty Bowl in Memphis. Temperature will be nice. Range of 62 to 57 degrees, but it'll be pretty wet. Not going to have that freezing cold Liberty Bowl that I think the game is known for as far as Arkansas fans are concerned, but it's going to be a slickery one. Team is bussing out there probably as we're speaking right now. Is it about probably a good 5-hour bus ride from campus, if not a little bit longer, to get to Memphis. A whole week of things to do in the home of the Blues, where they get to. I think they're going to see the Grizzlies tonight. There'll be a parade. There'll be all sorts of other things going on, and then kick off on Friday. And who knows if Braylon Russell's actually going to be running the ball for Arkansas?
Do you think he switches his number to 13 to honor James Harden with the best pump fake that you can have? I mean, he kind of got a little double pump fake going on, man. He got continuation 3-point play. You got to go 13 and grow out a beard.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. He was fairly guarded the first time, so he faked it, stepped to the right, got the guy out.
Euro step, yeah.
Exactly. There were two fakes going on there. Wow. I mean, this is the kind of situation that people point to about the transfer portal and laugh about the absurdity of college football now. But that's also what the portal's here for, is to test the water, dip your toe in or maybe put the entire leg in. And if Russell did visit Ole Miss, I think he did. And if the offer isn't right, so that's just where I'm going with it. It's not if the relationship fits, if your role on the team fits the way that you feel it should, all of those things that used to be major aspects of decision-making for where you choose to play. Maybe it was the offer wasn't quite right, or maybe the offer came in a little bit better after Arkansas missed on a running back that I think they wanted over the weekend. So I wonder if he hasn't been practicing at all, so he can't play in the Liberty Bowl. I guess he'll just be RB1 by the time you get to spring ball.
It's wild, man. He really played about 4 games this year, and he's not going to play in the Liberty Bowl. And hopefully he can go. I mean, you see what Jaquindon Jackson. I mean, to get your mind and your body and everything right to go through an SEC schedule is tough. Got it. The running back and Phil, I've told you this. We've talked about it. It's got to be by committee. That doesn't mean you can't have a bell cow that one's awesome or better than everybody else, but you got to have some complementary pieces, and you got to be able to rotate some guys, and hopefully we will. I mean, I don't know who's going to be toting the rock for him in a couple days, but you're hoping Braylon Russell is healthy and ready to go next year.
Well, if you're going by the depth chart, it's Rodney Hill and Terrell Reed and Juju Pope.
Let's go.
Freshman that I hadn't heard anything about before. But in this case, obviously Russell, I don't think that, we put it in these ways, the opportunities he thought were there might not have been there for him, and it turns out the best place might have been home anyway. So it's a bizarre story.
The grass is always greener.
Well, and that maybe that's a cautionary aspect of this. You go into the portal, so what is it that you say to do it the quote-unquote right way, the way that Sam Pittman talked about it? Is it a matter of, he said the right things on the way out the first or the second time? Or is it just a matter of it's too talented a kid to say, yeah, you made your decision, stay there, go find another place to play? That's my ass. I think it's just a matter of the kid's too talented, but he said the right things. I spoke to Coach Pittman, love Coach Pittman, love where I am, and it's going to be a Razorback moving forward. Outside of that, you get this Liberty Bowl coming up here. It's kind of interesting looking. The Razorbacks are without their leading rusher, leading receiver, top defender, 3 of 5 starting offensive linemen, amongst other, aspects of the team that decided to go into the portal or get ready for the draft. And Texas Tech, now they don't have nearly the number of transfers or starters that won't be available, but they don't have their quarterback, and Arkansas does. And they don't have either of their coordinators. Now, in terms of the defensive coordinator, I think they were second to last in terms of passing yards allowed, so maybe that's a good thing for Tech. But it's just interesting that you end up with a team in Arkansas that, it's just lost so much production to the portal or to graduation, pre-bowl game graduation. And Tech has a lot of their production back, but they don't have their coordinators to go. And the line has been swinging, man, too. I mean, right now Arkansas is favored by 1.5. But the fact that you got Taylon Green, even though he isn't necessarily throwing a lot of passes to some of the guys that will be available here, you got to give the Razorbacks a leg up in that case. And the other thing to wonder about here, and I was reading this in the Democrat Gazette this morning, Matt, Taj Brooks, this great running back for Texas Tech, 3rd in the nation in rushing yards this year. Now, he's listed first on the depth chart, but apparently he said he will be updating Texas Tech on his availability closer to the bowl game. So that's right. Yeah, he's practicing, but he will be making his decision on how available he will be making himself, which if that's not a 2024 college football statement, I don't know what else is.
Man, it's just, because you play, it's such a team sport. It's such a team game. And now it really is starting to seem a lot more individual. It's like, what can I do where I want to be started? I want this. It's a lot of me instead of team. But that's the nature. That's what they wanted. I mean, they're getting this type of money for image and likeness. They're not getting money for keeping up your grades. They're not getting money for production on the field. They're just getting money because they're football play. It's the weirdest concept that's going on right now. It doesn't matter if they play or not. It doesn't matter if they go to class or not. It's weird how it's working out.
So I was looking at some of the numbers here for Tech, and Brooks ran for 1,505 yards on a team that ran for 1,941. So I mean, they don't have all that much in terms of running if Brooks isn't there. Got a couple of freshman running backs, and in Arkansas's case too. I mean, you're down your top 2 backs because Dubinion, he wouldn't have even been available because of this surgery, but he's in the portal. Man, I wonder if you get if you throw Braylon a helmet, say, hey, what have you been doing these last couple of weeks? You remember all those plays you were practicing starting in the springtime? Well, try to remember those again because we may try to use you. 877-377-6963 here to get with you. And then there are the 5 players that the Hogs added out of the portal here, Matt, over the weekend. You got a defensive end out of Florida. You got a safety out of Eastern Michigan. A cornerback from Cincinnati. I think that's a guy they were really after. Jordan Young. He's a big cornerback. Also, the defensive end from Florida, Boone, is somebody I think they were really heavily after. A defensive tackle out of Abilene Christian, and a running back from New Mexico State. So in most cases here, really in all cases, you have players that are looking to either make a jump up in terms of the talent they're playing against, or in terms of Boone, the defensive end out of Florida, he didn't break through with the Gators. So he's looking for the chance to do it here at Arkansas. And, I mean, I think a lot of Razorback fans appreciate that that's, in most cases, the way that you're doing things in the portal. Now, you brought in some other guys around the SEC, but in some cases, it's the money ball aspect. You know, looking for somebody that might be a little bit undervalued somewhere else. They're looking to make a move in the SEC. This is your place to do it. And they've got examples of other players that have made the move up and had success here and moved on to bigger and better things. What fans are hoping for, though, Matt, are players that make a big difference and lead to more than 6 wins. I think that's at the top of their what they're hoping for here. Wish list for the holidays. It's players that aren't just coming up and doing well while they're here, but leading to a better season than what you just had.
Well, you know, you got to know your assignment. You got to hang on to the football. There's a couple things. This team, man, if you look back in a lot of these games, there's a couple of them that got away from us, but a lot of them just comes down to a couple plays here and there, especially the Oklahoma State game. I mean, you look at A&M game, we were in that one as well. Texas game could have picked off Quinn Ewers' first pat. You know, there's a lot of things that go on that you don't make the plays and don't turn the ball over. Hopefully these guys, they understand that.
Yes. So the one thing I'd be looking at with Mike Washington, the running back out of New Mexico State, how many fumbles? I haven't looked at that quite yet, but I would imagine that'd be one thing that's on the coach's list here as well. We got a break. Before we do that, if you still have a little bit of Christmas shopping to do, get over to the Stadium Shop on Razorback. You can also go to shoponrazorback.com. Got everything you need for your favorite Razorback fan right there beside Baum-Walker Stadium on Razorback Road. You can also call Robert, Elizabeth, or Matt at 479-STADIUM and make sure they know ESPN sent you. Pig Trail Nation's Mike Irwin joining halftime right after this break.
Live coverage of the Liberty Bowl in Memphis is brought to you by Hyperfiber. Get the fastest deal of the year. Visit hyperfiber.com. It's also brought to you by Big Cypress Lodge. Camp inside the iconic Memphis Pyramid.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hitting the road this summer? Do what truck drivers do. Bring plenty of 5-Hour Energy. You'll get the alert, energized feeling you need to get where you're going and do everything you want to do when you get there. It's small, light, and portable, like it was made for road trips. Just crack it open, knock it back, and keep both hands on the wheel. Because when it comes to road trips,
are we there yet?
Safety comes first. 5-Hour Energy. Energy on the go. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
The
Neumeier family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Neumeier's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Neumeier family.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I'm not just stepping stones. No! I'm not just stepping stones. We're trying to make your mark in society by using all the tricks that you used on me. Reading all them high-fashion magazines, the clothes you're wearing lately causing public scenes. I said, I'm not just stepping stone.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
On our hotline right now is Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation. A very happy Festivus and an early Merry Christmas to you, Mike. How are you today?
Doing good. How are you guys?
We're good, man. We're good. I know Coach Pittman speaking later on tonight at the Liberty Bowl press conference. Coach McGuire goes, I think, right after him. So, man, I know we're talking a lot about how next year's team is being constructed, but I have a feeling that he's more interested in talking about what's going to happen this week. What do you think we're going to hear today?
Well, I think hopefully he'll talk about how the bowl practices are going, who's looking good, all that stuff, kind of give us an update. It still bothers me that we couldn't watch any of these practices. There's so many new guys out there, guys like Monte Harrison who, now may end up starting in Andrew Armstrong's spot. So you want to see how those guys look, but we'll just have to take his word for it, and then I guess we'll find out when the game takes place. I doubt there'll be any questions about Braylon Russell. That's all anybody's talking about right now. Everybody's got their opinion on it. I think it's pretty obvious to me, having checked around what happened. I mean, that kid has been under pressure from within. I won't say who, but under pressure to maybe test himself somewhere else for a while. I think he thought about it twice, went into that portal twice. I was told Ole Miss made him an offer, but he didn't want to go there, and he came back to Pittman and said, I want to stay. Now, you can say to yourself, well, why, you can't let him come back. Are you kidding me? They got a problem at running back. And whatever issues that kid had off the field, it never one time affected him on the field. I mean, they don't win the Tennessee game without him. They might not win the Mississippi State game without him. He went crazy in that game. He had the highest yards per carry of any back on the team, had the longest run. He was all business when he was out there on the field. And if you don't think they need him to come back, I'm going to say, guys, I think he's their best portal get right now because they brought him back out of the portal. To me, it's just like getting anybody else out of the portal. You got him back. I think he's the best addition for next year.
That's kind of what I was going to ask. Is he a good locker room guy, Mike? I mean, what is that? Because to get in twice and then to come back, is he an Arkansas guy, you think?
Yeah, I think kids, teammates know what's going on with the player.
Right.
I think they know he wants to be here. Like I said, he's just been under pressure to do some other things, and I think he finally put his foot down and said, "This is where I want to be, and I'm going to stay here." I think what his teammates appreciate is the fact that when he's on the field, if he had had these off the field issues and it affected him on the field, I'd say don't bring him back. But the opposite is true. He was never a problem on the field, and that's what you got to look at.
So when a child rebels against their parents, sometimes you got to wonder if the parents react in a way where they at least appreciate that the son is making his own decisions. That's kind of what I'm hearing from you, and just seeing what we've seen on social media from those in his camp. We can definitely read between those lines, and it kind of reminds you of the Alex Collins situation too, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into that too much because I don't want to talk about parents, but I just think the key is Pittman and the decision he made. Anybody knows anything about Sam knows that if there were a real issue that Pittman was concerned about, he wouldn't let him come back because he's pretty picky about that kind of stuff. You go, and there's only a few circumstances under which you can come back. And I think he's liked that kid all along. I think he's liked what he put into the work at practice and on the field, and this other stuff. I mean, come on. The kid's 18, 19 years old, whatever, trying to deal with all this stuff. I wouldn't want to be in that position.
Mike, these first four college playoff games, I got my eye on all four of them. I don't know how many you got your eyes on. What was your takeaway with these first four games, and has it changed your mind about who you think the best team in the country is?
Well, first of all, guys, I'm not buying this idea that they put the wrong teams in there and and it was proof that they screwed up. If that were the case, the team that didn't look like it belonged at all, Indiana, would have gotten blown out the worst, and they actually came closer than anybody to winning one of those games. And the team that everybody thought belonged in there, Tennessee, is the one that got blown out the worst. My take on this, Matt, is that we're seeing something we've never seen before. A college football playoff game on a home campus. And I don't think anybody understood what a big deal that would become. I didn't, and I wasn't there, but you could just see, at Ohio State, you could see those people just went bonkers at that game. And I think a night game is even more difficult. If you're going to, moving forward, if you're going to be the road team playing a home team at night in that first round, you're dead. You're going to get killed. And I don't know what's going to happen. There's already people saying, oh, well, they've got too many teams in. I don't agree with that. And I know this is going to be controversial, guys, but I like the NCAA basketball formula. And here's why. You take that upset that everybody talked about, Kentucky getting knocked off by Oakland last year. You put that game in Rupp, and that doesn't happen. And that's what makes the NCAA basketball tournament so interesting as they play these neutral site games. So how would you do that? In my opinion, you would take 4 pro stadiums and have the first round played every year at one of those 4 stadiums. I mean, it could be Vegas. It could be Phoenix. It could be, New Orleans. It could be Atlanta. But you play that every year and you get those local people behind that. They will be responsible for selling the tickets and getting the thing, filled up, and it'll become a good trip. But they probably won't do that. My guess is they'll continue to do it this way, and we'll all just get used to the first round being a bunch of blowouts.
You make a really good point, too. So I was looking at SMU's season, and, I mean, they were playing routinely in front of sold-out crowds of 35,000, whether at home, at Gerald Ford Stadium, or a couple of the places on the road in the ACC. So then, and we're all like, oh, my gosh, there's $30 tickets close to the field available at Penn State. I was even saying that, but it's like, it's a 100,000-seat stadium. It's different than if it's a 50,000-seat stadium. At that point, you're talking about hundreds of dollars worth of tickets, and that crowd made all the difference in that game, but it's also a matter of talent, too. I mean, those were – the other aspect of this, too, is the teams that played at home, they're just really good teams, and they're especially good up front at the line of scrimmage, and that's what stood out.
And that's my point. If you're already the seeded team, if you're already the best team, the best players, and then you let that team play at home, I'm trying to picture what it would be like because I've seen a jillion games at Razorback Stadium over the decades. But I believe if we were ever there for a college playoff game there, especially if it were a night game, I think that it would blow away anything we've ever seen, at least before the game started. Now, the team would have to respond, but I just think that's a thing that we've never experienced before. I think people get in that stadium and it's their team and they're in the playoffs and it's like, we're going to show the rest of the country. I think Ohio State had something to prove anyway. And I mean, they took a pretty good Tennessee team and just embarrassed them.
Well, I think in some cases it kind of magnifies some of the things that makes like the weaknesses in some cases. But the thing with Tennessee though is if Dylan Sampson, if you're down 3 touchdowns and you haven't been able to run Sampson at all and he's hurt, I mean, what's after that in that case? Meanwhile, Ohio State's just completely healthy and running roughshod over them.
Well, in answer to Matt's question, I think what we're going to see this week is I think it's going to be more stable. I think the games will be closer. I don't know if there'll be any upsets, but I think it won't look as just wild, crazy as it was before. I mean, there'll be people talking, well, it's not the same atmosphere. Well, I don't know about that, but I think it's going to stabilize some now.
I wonder about what is it that you think the committee is supposed to be searching for? Because if they're going by best teams, sometimes I don't know what we mean by best teams. Is that best in terms of what they've done on the field? Is that best in terms of amount of talent? Because if you're looking for a better game, yeah, I mean, Ole Miss and South Carolina, maybe Alabama probably could have given Penn State, Notre Dame a better game. But then on the other end, you're looking at what Tennessee did. Tennessee played in the SEC. Tennessee beat Alabama. They didn't look like they belonged on the same field. So maybe it's just a matter of this is college football, and there's a big difference sometimes between the teams that are really good and just the teams that are good.
Yeah, I'm just not one of these. I told you guys this before. I'm not one of these. The SEC is big bad. Everybody else is nothing. I mean, this year in particular, I think the league beat each other up. But I think some of those teams were overrated anyway. And now it's real easy if you're Ole Miss to sit here and say, we should have been in. Well, how do you know? You weren't in, and if you'd have been in, the same thing might have happened to you. I like spreading this stuff around. I don't like, Arkansas is in the SEC, but I'm aware of the rest of the country. And I don't automatically hate teams because they're from other conferences. It's a big country, and we got a lot of college football teams out there. And I don't really have a problem with spreading around a little bit, rather than saying, well, the SEC should get 6 teams in every year, or the Big Ten should get 6 teams in every year. I mean, I just don't agree with that.
Mike, we'll leave it there. I appreciate your time on these Mondays. I hope you have a great Christmas holiday, and we'll look forward to talking to you on the other side. Thank you so much for all your time.
Okay, see you guys.
Merry Christmas, Mike. Thanks.
Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation with us each Monday here on Halftime. Now, I kind of view the same thing about, like the SEC. It's like we're not necessarily like rooting for the SEC teams or anything like that, but it is an understanding that the best, on average, the best players, I mean, it's all you got to look to is who's in the NFL. That doesn't necessarily mean that makes those players on a specific team any better because they're the most talented, because so much of it is more than just talent. It's chemistry. It's, knowing what you'd be in a football player, that kind of thing. And I think sometimes we might lose a little bit of sight of that. It's just sometimes the talent will be so much better and overwhelming that it's going to take charge. I think that's what happened this last weekend.
Yeah, I think you had a couple teams that in the last 5, 7, 8 years, they've had big games, and they were the home teams. And like you said, they did have more talent. But when's the last time those SMU players have been in a big game? They haven't really had a big game. Like you're saying, they average about playing in front of 30,000 people. And all of a sudden, man, that was a huge game.
I mean, the ACC championship game was a huge game, but it's also like they sort of showed up.
And they didn't play
by the
good
time
in
you
that
got
game.
into the fourth quarter.
Mhm.
Yeah, and in order to have a quality loss, and that's the way they got into the playoffs.
Indiana, I saw this stat. They said Notre Dame has the fourth or fifth most Division I football victories all time. You know who has the most losses all time? Indiana. That was the stat they brought up. That was a true David and Goliath, and I mean, David, there was no. I mean, David didn't have a chance.
David's slingshot was broken. Well, we'll come back in just a moment, wrap up the first hour. Thanks for listening today. It's halftime.
Last issue. Kaz Michaels is figure skating.
This is halftime.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
If you are involved in a divorce or custody case, you want an attorney you can trust to guide you through the process. The attorneys at Hickey & Hole Law Partners have over 7 decades of combined experience. Hickey & Hole have seen and heard nearly every scenario you can imagine, ready to put that experience to work for you to get the best results. Visit kevinhickeylaw.com or give them a call today, 479-434-2414. Hickey & Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Looking for a healthcare provider that truly listens to you? At Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, their team of nurse practitioners offer personalized healthcare with their in-house labs. Get fast results. Elite Wellness goes beyond just treating symptoms. Their holistic approach addresses the root causes of your well-being. Whether it's preventative care, illness, or exploring natural treatments, your health journey begins with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. Call 479-242-9355 for your appointment or visit FortSmithElite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
It's time to call the Hogs in Memphis, Tennessee. For the 4th time in 5 seasons, Coach Sam Pittman and the Razorbacks are going bowling. They're going to face off against the Texas Tech Red Raiders in the 66th Annual Liberty Bowl, just beyond the state lines in Memphis. Kickoff is set for Friday, December 27th at 6 p.m. Secure your seats right now. Cheer on the Hogs by visiting ArkansasRazorbacks.com.
Hey, Tom Richardson for Jam Mart. Brad Tyson and their entire team are so thankful this time of year during the holidays. We appreciate all of our customers that enjoy the beverage bar at Boonville, the hot food at Phoenix, and the deli at Jam Mart number 10. We know you're loving the updated pumps at our gas stations, and we're continuing to strive to find new creative ways to improve every single day. If you love Jam Mart, please leave us a 5-star review on Google. Happy holidays from your friends at Jam Mart.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Back into halftime live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Side of the phones, William is in Lafayette. Good morning, William. How you doing today?
Doing great. Happy holidays, gentlemen, to you and your family.
Same to you. Thank you.
Great. I want to kind of piggyback off what Mike said. Earlier last week, I don't know what show it was, but someone on your radio station was asking, what we want for Christmas as Hog fans. And I couldn't think of anything at the time. But Saturday night, I thought of it. I want a home playoff game in Fayetteville. I want it bad. I want Matt Jones to be the honorary captain wearing a Ryan Mallett jersey, and I want to take that field. Could you imagine what that would be like if we ever got to that level? I don't know. That was what I took away from the playoffs this week. Blowouts, but man, I want a home playoff game in Fayetteville. And I hope what everybody else wants they get, and I hope you guys get what you want. Go Hogs.
Well, I don't think everybody can get what they get if it's the same as you, because there's only four teams that get the home playoff games, and in order for that to happen, you're going to have to make the SEC championship game. That's the way to do it. You make an SEC championship game, you win.
Then you get a bye. Yeah.
When you get to the SEC championship game and you lose, well, you'll play at home.
And if we do, if we get a home playoff game, we're still doing this show, I will gladly wear a Ryan Mallett jersey to the game, and let's go Hogs. You know what I mean?
Can I wear your jersey then, since you wouldn't be wearing yours? I could wear it like pajamas the day before, because the thing would hang all the way down below my knees.
I like it.
I don't know. A nice little Hanukkah present for me at some point. Either that or to grow like another 8 inches so I could actually fit into the thing.
You and Mel Brooks. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I chose to be a 1.5 foot shorter. That's what I wanted.
What about though what Mike said? It's like the best thing you got out of the portal was the kid who was your number 2 running back, and he got into the portal twice.
I don't know. It's to me, you got to be a good locker room guy too. I'm not saying he's not a good locker room guy, but it's like, man, do you want to be here? You got in the portal twice. What's really, was it not good enough? Kind of.
Well, Mike didn't want to talk about the parents.
Yeah,
and I think that's the
I'm happy he's a Razorback. I want him to be. I think he's our best player. No question about it. And you saw this 2 years ago with Rocket Sanders being hurt, being your best player in KJ, and they weren't great locker room guys, and you win 4 games. You want guys that are going to be your hardest worker guys, that are making the most money, the guys that are going to show up early, the guys that want to be here, and then everybody gets in line, and that's it. Braylon Russell's going to be on the cover of the Media Guide next year. He's one of those guys, so you hope he's falling in line and be ready to be a leader.
Yeah, it's like you look at it this way. Independent of where he was last year, okay? You just got an SEC running back who averaged over 6 yards a carry and runs I forget. I don't even have this. You know how big he is in front. Look, just think about
it's like
if
Jerome
this was
Bettis.
a recruiting thing, and you just got that kid out of the portal from some other SEC team. Be pretty fired up about it. But I do think it's really, if what you're reading about is true, and he was sort of nudged, or not just nudged, but told, you got to go out and see what offers are there available to you. He might not have found what he wanted. But what's that conversation like with the people that tell you those things? It almost feels like somebody grew up post-parents in a sense. All right, we get into the second hour. We'll be right back after the top of the hour break. Thanks for listening today.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Todd Richardson here at Wheeler Power Sports as we gear up for Christmas. Simon, you're the guy to come see.
We have new inventory in stock such as the Kawasaki Mule 4010, Kawasaki KX 450 SR, KO S70, Polaris Ranger Crew XP 1000 North Star and Camo, and the Polaris Sportsman 570 Hunting Edition. Give us a call or text us at 479-783-5822.
901 North 11th Street in downtown Fort Smith, Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we'll see mostly cloudy skies in the north with an isolated rain shower, while we'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies down south, highs in the mid-50s. Skies become cloudy area-wide tonight with scattered rain showers, lows in the lower 40s. Cloudy on Tuesday with rain and some thunder likely, highs around 50. Cloudy with scattered rain showers Tuesday night, lows in the lower 50s. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
You sound like a participation trophy, Dad.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. Ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Matt Jones, man, take it to the house. The dunk.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad we showed them at halftime.
What they for one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
Is vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Turn it.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back. We're into the second hour, halftime on this Festivus Monday. You're listening to ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. I'm Phil Elson. My partner, Matt Jones. Christian Johnston continues to produce 3 Up, 3 Down about 15 minutes from now with Dr. Charlie Liggett. Otherwise, we are wide open for you for calls and texts in hour number 2 on the day that is. Matt, we're going to have to play, maybe not, 60th birthday for the one and only Edward Vedder.
Woo!
That's right. Eddie Vedder turned 60 today. Man, that makes me feel as old as anything. 13 years younger than him.
Yeah, man. There you go. He's it's it's not that I listen to his music, but I respect the fact that he's making it.
Continues to make it too.
Yeah, go be you, man.
That's what that's probably the best way to say it for a non-Pearl Jam fan.
It's your music, man. You got to listen to it.
That's right. You got to at least appreciate the things that you do for yourself. That's right. We can get some callers lined up here. Let's get right to it so that we don't go too over before 3 Up, 3 Down. First up, Eduardo the Sherpa. All right, Eduardo, listen here, man. This is Festivus. I got a lot of problems with you people, and you get to hear about them right now. Nah, I'm kind of kidding.
It's going to start right now.
That's right. It starts right now, Eduardo. I'm going to give you the floor for Festivus. Who do you have a problem with first?
What? Have a problem with who? I'll tell you what. I don't have
term limits.
I don't have a problem with anybody. Tell you the truth. You know what though?
what I want to end the year, sir, you know what I want most? Is to end the year in a positive note. I think most of the fans would like to see a Liberty Bowl win. End the year, last game of the year. And for the players, if I were addressing them, make the best of it. You know, anything you do in life, always give your best. You know, always be passionate about what you're doing. Something to blow the whistle about. How about the young man coming back, Braylon Russell? You only get so many in-state kids a year, and he's one of them you can't afford to lose. And I tell you what, I believe we hadn't seen his potential yet. And you got to remember, he played behind the same offensive line as Taylor Green did. You know, so every yard he got mostly on his own. You know, so, you know, what are we doing this year in the portal? You know, I don't think you have to have a top 10 portal class to be successful in the SEC. I don't think it at all. I think you got to address your needs. And where's the biggest need of U of A? Well, no doubt about it. It affects every area of a program and a football team. Your offensive line's so bad, it affects all areas. It affects your quarterback play. It affects your running game. It puts your defense behind the 8 ball because you don't have turnovers with that kind of offensive line. And so I'm just so happy that we're starting to look like, to me, I could have made an argument on the Houston Nutt. Not only were we running back USA, I could have made an argument we were offensive line USA. He always had big offensive linemen. Why? Because that's what it takes to win an SEC Western Division title in the toughest league in America. And he won 3 of them. He always had good running backs, fundamentally sound running back, and Russell is one of them. So blow the whistle there. And I'm going to be blowing it next year. I'm going to keep blowing it on them till we dress that offensive line. I tell you, if you do that, you will start maybe flipping that Missouri. How many sacks did we give up to Missouri? 5? Well, that's 5 too many. Let me tell you something. Address the line, and all will be good in Hogland. Thank you for taking my call, gentlemen.
Thank you for making the phone call and for listening to our show, Eduardo. And, man, his octane pumped up as he got through that phone call there. Well, I think they've addressed, or at least tried to, address issues on the offensive line. You lose 3 of your starters, and maybe you brought 3 guys in who could do a little bit better. So I do think that's one of the first things that they've tried to attack. And it's not like you'll find out about any of these guys on the Liberty Bowl, because we'll start learning about them once you get to spring practice. Brent's up next. Good afternoon, Brent. Happy Festivus. Who would you like to call out for a problem today?
Who would I like to call? Whoa, back up.
It's Festivus. It's the airing of the grievances. Brent, you get to air a grievance. Go for it.
I don't have any grievances today because it is the day before Christmas, 2 days before Christmas, the happiest day of the year. So I've got to have my mind clear, and my mind is clear. I've got 2 questions for y'all. And Matt, I have a question for you. First question for Matt. Matt, who's the number 1 draft choice in the NFL draft this year?
Ooh, man, I will 100% get with you on that after the season's over and I kind of delve into it a little bit more. It could be one of those rush ends. A lot of people like the kid at Tennessee. I know when the preseason rankings came out, he was the number 1 rated player in the SEC, was that edge rusher from Tennessee. A lot of times you see it be a quarterback. It might be Shedeur Sanders. I mean, if you're following the tea leaves and reading everything that you're seeing, that Coach Prime wants to coach his boy at the next level, and so it could be. I don't know, but I will. Brent, I'll get back with you that here at the beginning of next year.
That sounds great. I can't wait because I've got a name in mind for me, but I don't know that he would be the first pick, but I would assume he would be in the top 3.
I think that tight end from Penn State's going to be like whatever Brock Bowers was last year. What did Brock Bowers go, like 11 to the Las Vegas Raiders? That number 44 from Penn State, man, he'll be the first tight end off the board.
What do you think about Travis Hunter?
I want him on my
I
team.
want him,
I want him on my
Oh,
team.
ab-
I'll take him wherever I got to take him. I think he's a football player, and we'll figure out where to play him. Nickelback, field corner. I want. He's going to be a top 5 pick. No question about it.
And my next question for y'all is: I am happy for this next round of the playoffs. You know why I'm happy for the next round? Because that farce known as Boise State will take a beating at the hands of Penn State, and I want that program to finally realize they're not in the upper echelon of college football. That's all I want.
Yeah, well, you find out if you get it or not. Thing is that they played a fairly tight game against a very, very good Oregon team back in week 2. So I don't know if they're going to get their heads handed to them by Penn State. I do think it'll be a tighter game than you might be expecting, Brent. It's good to hear from you, Brent. Thanks, and have a very Merry Christmas. Charlie, happy Festivus. We haven't gotten a straight answer from Eddie or from Brent. I don't know if they're Seinfeld watchers. I don't know if you are either, Charlie. But if you got a problem with somebody, now's the time.
Still, I don't really. You know me well enough to know that you're not going to get me here. I mean, I just don't. I mean, if I was going to, just pick one out, just to kind of throw one out there, has the Texas guy called in yet? I mean, has he?
No, he's not allowed to any longer. He didn't pay up his bets with on-air hosts.
Oh, so y'all banned him because
We didn't ban anybody. He did it to himself.
That was himself.
Yeah.
This is how you parent, Charlie. It's like, look, I'm grounding you, but you did this to yourself.
You're grounded until you pay up. I feel you on that. Look, hey, it is what it is, man. But yeah, man, sorry to hear that about him. I hope he's listening now. Look,
well, I did. So the last time he sent a text to our text line, I sent him a link to ESPN Austin. So maybe he's listening there.
I've been on that train for the longest. Like, why not call them? Bro, call into your state. Look, Texas is doing really well right now. And look, I will say this, from what I've heard, Matt, I know you saw this too. It does not look like Carson Beck's going to play, right? I mean,
I think he's done for the year, yeah.
Yeah, and look, I will say this, like, I don't know if that necessarily, look, I think everybody looks at that like that just totally throws them out and they're done. And I'm not buying that. With the way their team is built, I think that they can still make a run at this thing, especially, with where they kind of are, I guess. But
honestly,
I'm
Charlie,
not buying
if you look at some of the things with Beck this year, I mean, he was a bit of a wild card. Like, he could help you win a game, but he could certainly help you lose a game or put you in a position to where you can lose a football game. And you only saw him for, I forget how long that Stockton played in the SEC championship, but I saw enough to think that they can win with him.
And with their team, the way they're built, like I say, it's not like they're throwing their quarterback into a situation where, like, they got to go win it by themselves. Most of the time, that's how they're built. And so, Ohio State a few years back won it with their third-team quarterback. So it can be done. No, it's a little bit different. Now, I was surprised at how Ohio State just kicked Tennessee's butt like that.
Well, I think that's
Tennessee
a team that showed that they played with a lot of pride, and they showed their pride was damaged from the Michigan game. And I can't figure that out. It's like Ole Miss and Kentucky. You can't figure that out. I can't figure out Ohio State losing to Michigan other than just come out flat, and that's a difficult thing to figure out why it happens.
Yeah,
they didn't come out flat on Saturday, that's for sure.
No, they didn't. And is it something maybe with the pressure of the rivalry game, and Ron Day hasn't beat Michigan, and it was 3 straight times going there. Right now it's 4 straight times. So it's like with Michigan, I get it, but I'm gonna take what Ufrey says. If they play 10 times, I would probably pick Ohio State probably 6 or 7, but give Michigan a few because of the rivalry. Just because it's a rivalry, and Ohio State has some issues with them. So, but maybe it's a mental thing. But I will say this: they got a real shot at this thing. They're really talented, and we'll see what happens. And Matt, did you watch Michael Penix Jr. yesterday? I thought he looked okay at times. You got to keep him in there. They won. And man, this how all this winds up in the NFL, man. I don't know who's a sleeper for you, Matt and Phil, in the AFC and NFC that nobody's really talking about that might could make a run at this thing and make some noise in the playoffs. Anyways, I'll hang up and listen. Y'all have a good one.
I appreciate that, Charlie. Thank you very much. You got a team to pick there. If you want to look like at a dark horse of some sort, I'm not sure which one I would pick here.
The Chargers might be your best bet. I mean, I even say can Pittsburgh still be a dark horse? You know, but I think the Chargers, if you're looking for not the conventional 1-2, Minnesota. Could that be one that you see out of the NFC? Because we all think Philly and Detroit are going to be the teams that represent the NFC, but you think Minnesota has a chance?
Potentially, yes. I don't think there's a real dark horse in the AFC. I think the favorites are
it's
true
Buffalo,
favorites.
It's Pittsburgh, and it's Kansas City, and it's Baltimore, right? Those four. If one of those, if anybody besides one of those four representing the AFC in the Super Bowl, I just don't think so.
I think you better watch out for Baltimore. I really do. I think they're about to take over the AFC North. The Steelers are a little bit too banged up. Buffalo's playing great. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. I don't think there's a real dark horse in the AFC. Let's go to James in Fayetteville. Got a lot of callers in this segment. James, what's up? Thanks for calling. James, we lost you there for a moment. Well, you got a bad connection there. Let's try Cecil, then we'll try James back. Cecil, how you doing? Happy Festivus.
Oh, my radio went up too loud. I'm sitting over here on my computer listening to my favorite sports station. I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and hopefully we can win this game in a couple of days and move on to basketball and get to the Final Four. Sweet 16, I think the Elite Eight will be better than the Sweet 16. No, I'll take that back. I think the Final Four will be better than the Elite Eight because we went back-to-back in the Elite Eight. Is that correct?
But say that again, Cecil. I got an echo here from you, so it's a little difficult to understand.
Let me turn my radio down. I got it up too loud.
I would give a little
That's
advice
what it is.
to all callers. When you do call, turn the radio down because there'll be an
Yeah, I got it down. I got 3 radios in this building going off. Okay, I think we went back-to-back to the Elite Eight. Is that correct?
You're talking about our coach with Coach Muss.
Right. In basketball.
Yes.
Okay, so if we could get to the Elite Eight, but I figure if we make it to the Final Four with Calipari first year with these young kids, I think that'll be great, Because if we don't make it at least to that, I hear, it's going to be a lot of trash talking. They should expect too much out of Calipari. Calipari's a hell of a coach, man. His name is gold. So anything he does, it's networking. They're making a lot of money on that man. Everything he do, it's just like Deion Sanders. A lot of people don't like Deion. They don't like his style, but that's his style, and he's getting paid, and he's doing great.
Yeah, but here's
and
the
he could
difference,
go
though, Cecil. It's just like when you look at Calipari's history, outside of what happened with the Nets, if he's coached a college team, he's taken them to a Final Four. So I don't think there's anything wrong with having those expectations at Arkansas because it's right there in front of you. He did it at the previous 3 schools he coached at.
Right, exactly. I agree to that. But yeah, man, y'all just continue to be great, and then I'm gonna continue to listen. And y'all have a blessed Christmas, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
Cecil, thanks always for listening, and especially for your phone calls. Appreciate that. It's 877-377-6963 to get with us on halftime. All right, we went a little bit long. Appreciate all the phone calls during that segment. Remember Crabtree RV Center in Alma, junction of I-40 and I-49, right beside the Cracker Barrel in Alma. Make sure your family gets the best experience choosing the right RV for your adventures. They have the service and parts department right there on site. Got everything you need at Crabtree RV. Go online to crabtreerv.com to get a look at the inventory. 3 up, 3 down with Dr. Charlie Liggett in just a moment on halftime.
McLovin? What kind of a stupid name is that, Fogel? What, are you trying to be an Irish R&B singer?
This is halftime.
SEC has changed. Our coach has changed. Our roster has changed. One thing that hasn't changed, who we are. We are a championship program. We are led by Hall of Fame coaches. We are over 19,000 strong at home. And we are just as powerful on the road. We are the ones you counted out. We are Razorbacks.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown Bar District.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown Bar District.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hey River Valley, Yeager's Ace Hardware is now open at 942 4th Street in Barling. Conveniently located minutes from Fort Smith and Chaffee Crossing, Yeager's is your locally owned hardware and lumber store. Come by and visit with your Yeager's experts today and check out our new space packed with all of your hardware essentials. Open 7 days a week, the folks at Yeager's Hardware are committed to serving the River Valley for all of your home improvement and hardware needs. Yeager's, real help, real savings.
With the new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell, luxury is all in the details. A cheesy gordita crunch with the crisp bite of a crunchy taco wrapped in a pillowy flatbread. A beefy 5-layer burrito with seasoned beef stacked on velvety melted cheese. A crunchy taco, chips and nacho cheese sauce, and a medium drink. All for just $7. Live Lux for less today at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks exclude freezes. Tax extra.
Happy holidays from Sharp Equipment. You may be eligible to take advantage of the year-end tax credits with buying a new Wacker Newson before the new year. Sharp Equipment has excavators, skid steers, and other compact equipment in stock. Stop in at our yard location at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith to start your new year off right with a new Wacker Newson. Sharp Equipment, ready to serve you in all areas of Wacker Newson needs and more. Visit sharpequipment.com or call 479-649-0500.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. Join me, Phil, and Dr. Charles Liggett every Monday at 12:15 for my favorite segment, 3 Up, 3 Down.
Man, that early slate of games, a lot of good games. Phil, congrats to Pittsburgh.
3 Up, 3 Down is presented by River Valley Smile Center. Visit rivervalleysmiles.com or give them a call at 479-646-0706. That's River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Something to make us all happy. Take your side with you. Sing a song, sit inside, Mississippi.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Well, welcome back on Halftime. It is a Monday. It is our second segment of the 12 o'clock hour. So we got 3 things up and 3 things down with Dr. Charlie Liggett.
It's time for 3 Up, 3 Down. Presented by River Valley Smile Center with Dr. Charles Liggett.
3, good morning, good afternoon, good night. What does 3 up and 3 down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning, strike 3.
Dr. Liggett, a very happy Festivus to you today. How you doing? And where are you in studio with us?
I'm in studio today, yeah.
All right. You got a problem with anybody in studio did you bring a poll with you at all?
I guess I'll save my airing of grievances for the downs, right? It's kind of like the feats of strength are ups and the airing of grievances are downs.
That's exactly what the downs are. You hit the nail right on the head. Right. It's too bad too. I can't. I'm home. I'm home in my ancestral house, the house that my parents moved into in 1980. This house was built in 1924. I'm in my old bedroom, which was converted into my father and my mom's office about 35 years ago, and I was looking for some old dental journals so I could quiz you for a moment because, of course, my father's a pediatric dentist, and can't find any. I can only find a bunch of baseball books, which will tell you there is a whole, it's like, 7 different shelves of nothing but baseball books over here. You want to see how many of these books I read when I was a kid?
Is there a Ricky Henderson book up there on the shelf? We could do a Ricky Henderson book today.
Well, that's kind of where I was going to start.
Oh,
3 up, 3 down with Ricky. What a bummer. It's an up just because Ricky Henderson is the greatest leadoff hitter of all time.
Celebrate. He's on mine too. Be all transparent today, Phil. But he's one of the first I remember growing up that I pretended that's who you were when you were playing, like Ken Griffey Jr., Ricky Henderson, because he was the best athlete on the field most days, and he was. We talk about. I tell you, in baseball, what you need is action stars sometimes, and he was an action star in the '80s in baseball.
It's the word action that you're bringing up. That's exactly what the game is trying to get to. The game is trying to get back to the style that Ricky played with. The thing is he is potentially the most unique position player ever in terms of all the things that he could do. Not just steal a base. The guy scored more runs than anybody in the history of the sport.
So I was watching the A's Mariners game in the late '80s, and I remember Ricky Henderson was at the end of the game. He was 0 for 0 with 5 stolen bases and 4 runs scored.
Right. Yeah. Nobody ever had a batting stance like him. It looked like he was just completely bent over at the waist. It's one of the reasons he got so many walks. But I think one thing about Ricky that made him stand out wasn't anything that happened on the field. It was the personality. It wasn't the third person references. That's just part of the personality. It's stories like this that he told on Mike and Mike 24 years ago.
Why did you frame the $1 million check in that cash, I think? At that time, You had enough money? No, I can't say I had enough money, but it was based upon, when you're a kid and you want to be a millionaire. And time I got a signing bonus for $1 million. I go, wow, I'm a millionaire. So I'm going to frame this here check and put it on my wall, and I became a millionaire. And
in actuality, not. In actuality, without putting the check in the bank, I think one could argue we're not yet a millionaire, though, right?
I wasn't a millionaire.
Right.
I wouldn't even get no interest.
Right. That's exactly right. So the question is, whatever happened to the check?
Yeah. The Oakland A's finally called me when they was doing their book in December and asked me about where was the check. And I said it was on my wall. They said, "Can you take it down, go cash, and then put a duplicate in the frame
on the wall?" Yeah.
So I eventually took the check down and went and cashed it.
Okay, well, it's just phenomenal. That's a great story.
Yeah, he didn't even. It took the A's business office calling him and saying, "Did you get that $1 million check?" for him to actually put it in the bank, and to also discuss it openly. I don't think it's somebody that he's obviously somebody that didn't like, I think when I was a kid, I always remember watching Ricky. He would like slap the glove on his leg and he would catch the ball out of midair with a flair that nobody did. He would pop his collar and he would go around the bases with a home run. And you'd think, man, this guy's just absolutely cocky. I can't stand him. Not at all. All he did was play with a flair that everybody now plays with. He was a real sort of personality, and he wasn't manufactured the way that I feel like some personalities are manufactured now. And, Matt, the word you used, action, you couldn't use a better word to describe Ricky Henderson. And that's somebody that I thought could live forever. I'm heartbroken he's dead. But just to celebrate what he is, which is the greatest leadoff hitter in the history of baseball, and the reason why we even did halftime homework, because 6 years ago, Ty Richardson had no idea who Ricky Henderson is, and then a couple of days ago, he texted me. He's like, I'm sorry about this. I know you love the guy, so at least I passed that on to Ty. My first down would be coaches tweeting during playoff games. Lane, put the phone down. Just put it down. Maybe just tweet about reconnecting with the ex-wife and having the daughter around and all of that, but maybe put the phone down during games because it just doesn't look very good. You guys are right.
Yeah, put the phone down after a hottie toddy. Come on, Lane. My first up, same as yours, Ricky Henderson. So I'll move on to the first down. I saw where though, and he stole 130 bases one year, stole 108 bases one year. Just unbelievable. Just numbers you don't see anymore. You don't see people stealing 100 bases in a season.
Matt, one year he stole third more times than I think there were like 3 teams stole all bases total year.
I believe it. It's like one of those stats that Tony Gwynn struck out less in his entire career than Aaron Judge did in one season. What we were talking about, Larry Fitzgerald had less drops his whole career than Terrell Owens had in one season. So it's just, man, there were dudes that could just do it in any time frame, any era, and I think Ricky Henderson was one of them.
One last thing on the steals with Ricky, because in order for your base stealing to really be a positive for your team, you probably need to be stealing at about a 75 to 80% rate.
Right.
His career stolen base rate, 80%. Career. Crazy.
He even stole 6 his last year with the Dodgers. He had to be like 72 or something. He was still getting it. My first down, man, if you're a Liverpool fan, it's still going good. But I guess Man City, they're in 7th place. Another L to Aston Villa. So they dropped points over the weekend. So Liverpool's still in first place.
Dr. Liggett, what you got?
Okay, for my first up or first feat of strength, big win for the Dolphins, 29-17 over San Francisco. They went into the day with a 6% chance of making the playoffs. Last week I said they were pretty much out of it. 6%. It's not very likely, but with the win, this is all that they need. They need Denver to lose both games, which is to Kansas City and Cincinnati, could happen, or the Chargers to lose to the Giants and Jacksonville, not as likely. And so with either one of those, they need Indianapolis to lose one of their last 2. And I forget who they play. It's
part of the problem here for your Dolphins, though, is if they sneak into the playoffs, it's probably as the last seed. So then they get to go to like Pittsburgh or Baltimore or maybe Buffalo to go play. And that just doesn't usually end very well for Miami in the playoffs.
Hey, I can't disagree.
But they made the dance, so you're trying to make the dance. Yeah.
Hey, we're just trying to be positive here, Phil.
I'm just trying to be negative here. I'm just trying to do your Festivus down for you. That's all.
My first down is Phil. So my first down was Washington. That whole game to me, with Washington having 5 turnovers and still in beating a team that looks totally different than Philadelphia without Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, right. All this talk too, negative talk. They're like, is Jalen Hurts even a top 5 quarterback in the NFC? And they're just like, everybody, it seems like being negative. Yes, he is.
Yeah, we had that discussion this weekend. Yeah.
Great. If you got a team that won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback once, what's to say you can't do it a second time? Oh, maybe because Kenny Pickett isn't good enough, and then he's got an injury too.
Yeah, he does.
He hurt an ankle, right? So
is Joe Flacco out there? They
might have missed on their chance to sign him. All right, I got a second up here, and it goes to Steve Sarkisian. I'm going to go ahead and boo for that, but hey, I think Quinn Ewers is a real wild card for that team. So what do you do in this case? 48 rushes, twice the amount of passes thrown. Makes sense when you run for 292 yards, and you get those 2 great running backs that just ran roughshod in Blue and Wisner. So I don't know if that's necessarily the case when they take on Arizona State. That's a team that did control the run very well in the Big 12, but I'll bet you they tried to. It's a smart move by Sark, and nobody ever said he's not a really great coach. Second down goes to SMU because it looked like they were shaking in their boots in front of 100,000 people. And I would too. I would too if I was used to playing in front of 35,000. You should have taken this into account if you're talking about teams that just aren't used to playing in front of crowds like that. Maybe one of the reasons Indiana has had so much trouble winning in places like Michigan and Ohio State in the years is because those stadiums are twice the size of the stadium they play in. Southern Methodist, Scott Garner was on with us on Thursday on their radio crew. We're playing in front of sold-out crowds, 35,000, sold-out crowd. A little bit different in front of 100,000, and it certainly looked like that.
My second up goes to the father and son Woods duo of Tiger and Charlie. They're in the PNC tournament. You see John Daly, if you're an Arkansas guy, you see John Daly and his boy, Bernard Longer, Annika Sorensen. I mean, a lot of the Patty Harrington was just in Little Rock. He won the deal, I think, at
Pleasant Valley.
Yeah, that's Patty Harrington won that. So that was such a cool deal. He went eagle. It's a scramble. He went eagle on his own ball and then got a hole-in-one on the fourth hole. It was 7-iron, 176 yards, and they shot 13 under, 59 to be tied for first after that round. So that was pretty cool, father and son moment. My second down goes to the College Football Playoff Committee. Whatever that first 4 games was, that was just such a bore. I mean, it was so boring to watch. I mean, every single one of those games was over by the second quarter, and then the one that I thought had a chance, Tennessee, got blown out even more. So it was.
I was asleep in the second half.
It was so. I mean, just you're thinking, yeah, we got it. This is good. It was. I mean, but that's what we want, right? We want to see somebody get beat by 3 touchdowns. I don't know. I think the committee's still trying to get it right. I don't have a problem with SMU being in there. I don't have a problem with Indiana being in. If Alabama would have beat Oklahoma, they would have been in there. You know, there's just different ways to go about it. Do what you got to do, but man, it was there wasn't as I guess there was it was kind of like the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. All the propaganda, all the hype was better than the actual product on the field.
Next round looks good though.
I love it. That Notre Dame Georgia matchup. If Oregon wins the national title? I know we had somebody on about 5 weeks ago, and they were like, "There's not a dominant team. None of these teams are any good." If Oregon wins the national title, that's one of the best teams in the history of college football because you see who they got to beat to get there. They're going to earn it if Oregon wins it.
Absolutely.
And they will have had more wins than any team in the history of the sport in one season.
Ohio State, Texas, and then either Georgia or Notre Dame to win the thing. I mean, that's 3 right there. That's a gauntlet.
All right, Dr. Liggett, what you got for number 2?
My second up, Hogs basketball. So if Trevor Brazile would have had one more rebound, we'd had 3 players with double-doubles. Has that ever happened?
Against North Carolina A&T, huh?
North Carolina A&T.
That's right.
And we had 7 of 8 players in double figures, and Adu is, you can tell he's getting healthy. He looks like a really tough player down the stretch. And the way that Brazil's playing right now, I'm really excited to see what we're going to look like in February.
Absolutely, and I love the idea that he doesn't have to be out there for like 25, 26 minutes a game in order to – and look, I didn't realize this. I'm on Sports Reference, and apparently, according to Sports Reference, Brazil leads the nation in 2-point shooting percentage, 80% on 2-point shots. They've got it bolded, which means he leads the nation in that category.
Man.
That's crazy. All right, second down, Dr. Liggett.
Second down, this could have been an up as well, and I know that we've talked about it quite a bit today, but Braylon Russell coming back, I mean, it's big for us. I know it's not the way that we would have liked to have had it go, but, I mean, the reality of it is we don't know the whole situation. We don't know what happened, why he came in and out and all that stuff. Eddie's pumped up about it, so I'm pumped up about it too.
Hey, use your barometer to be Eddie. That's just fine. Third up for me is being home for the holidays. Not something I always get a chance to do, but it is nice being back in the Berg, in the ancestral house, coming through the Fort Pitt Tunnel to see downtown and going to the Steeler game on Wednesday with the kids, being actually like introducing the kids to a Steeler game. They've never been to see the Steelers. They don't know what to expect. I can't wait to actually do that. Home for the holidays is something that I think we can take for granted quite a bit, especially when you live where you are raised. I don't. So being here, back in Pittsburgh for a few days, really is special. But on the other hand, that leads right to my third down. Dad, last night, we get in about 9 o'clock, picks us up at the Pittsburgh airport, get back home about 9:30, 9:45, and he says, I got a whiskey you got to try. I got a bourbon. It's made by Jim Beam. It's their most expensive, and it was a gift that he was given by a friend for the holidays. So hands it to me, and I take my first sip, and gosh, that really hurt. I think the best thing to do when you are handed an alcohol that you've never had a taste of before is to at least ask what the proof is of this thing. I don't think I'd had whiskey that was 130 proof. Usually used to maybe like 80%. So, the third down goes to me for not asking the most obvious question when you're handed some brown water.
Are you a neat, or do you throw a couple cubes in there?
There are a couple cubes in there. Dad drinks it neat. He's a little tough. He's got more hair on his chest, obviously, and it's much grayer and longer than the hair on my chest.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. My third up is going to Liverpool. They beat the Spurs by 3, 6-3. Liverpool over Tottenham, 39 points. They are atop the Premier League table right now, and they got a game in hand on Chelsea, which goes to my third down, which is kind of like an up for Liverpool fans. But Everton, their derby match. So Liverpool and Everton, they're both Liverpool. That's where both their clubs are from. So that's their Merseyside derby. That's the derby game. So they don't like each other. But Everton might have helped Liverpool win the title because they stole some points. They were able to keep Chelsea at a 0-0 draw. Chelsea drops points again, but Chelsea is in second place.
Enemy of my enemy is my friend. Is that about right?
Keep them tight.
That's right. All right, what you got, Dr. Liggett?
For my last up, Anthony Black. He's really started playing well in Orlando. His minutes are going up every game. He had 23 versus Oklahoma City. So it's gonna be fun watching him. I'm glad he's getting some playing.
What's his second year? Second year or third year? This is second year, right? For Anthony Black in the NBA.
Second year.
Yeah.
And for my third down, kind of an up too, but did you guys see the fake Jared Goff?
Oh my goodness! Yes,
that was so
cool.
Like a fumble Ruski.
What was this play referred to as? I think I saw this referred to in a very specific terminology.
It almost looked like he tripped over his feet and he's trying to stumble, and then the running back tries to look for, and then he just pops up. It was pretty neat.
And the whole offensive line is yelling,
"The stumble bum."
They called it the stumble bum,
and everyone's yelling, "Fumble, fumble, fumble." Yeah, I thought that was and then through the deep touchdown pass.
That's like the reverse of butt fumble.
But your boy Sanchez.
Oh, that was
I think he's the last quarterback that the Jets. I mean, so think about the New York Jets. If you would have told them he was going to be the last quarterback to win a playoff game for you, like, yeah, he's like, we're the New York Jets. He's the last quarterback to win a playoff game for us.
I love it.
By the way, that whiskey, you do love it, Dolphins fan, absolutely. That whiskey's called Booker's.
Oh, that's some good chow right there, man.
Oh, it was good as long as
Booker's is hot though. Yeah, it's a little hot.
As long as I know what to expect from it, and like BE says, that's not whiskey, that's rocket fuel.
Make an old fashioned with that, because then you put ice cube and a little sugar, a little orange and cherry, and however you want to make your old-fashioned.
The pain when it went down my throat felt certainly very old-fashioned. Dr. Liggett, appreciate you, man. Hope you have a very Merry Christmas.
Hey, you guys
and
too.
Yeah, everything going on at what's the hours this week over at the River Valley Smile Center? You get the holiday right in the middle of the week.
Right. So we're off on Christmas Eve. We're off on Christmas, and we're off the day after. So we're
Boxing Day. Do we call it Boxing Day in the States? We don't call it Boxing Day, huh?
I think we call it Return Day here
Return
in the States.
Day, okay.
Yeah, something like that.
There's a lot of good soccer games on Boxing Day.
Well, I really appreciate when Dr. Liggett comes by, and we've gotten to know him a little bit off the air too. Had him over at Gelco Outdoors. So, Dr. Liggett, appreciate your friendship, and obviously for the segment that we do, and Matt, you get your teeth taken care of there as well.
Absolutely, and we'll get your picks. I'll text you later. We'll get your picks for our contest that we still got going on, because I don't. Maybe Monday will be before the game, so we'll do them live then next week. Okay, there we go. Yes, get out there to River Valley Smile. See Dr. Charlie, man. They've won Best of the Best 9 years in a row, and when you go there, they take care of you. You really are family.
479-646-0706 or rivervalleysmiles.com. Doc, have a great holiday, and we'll visit with you in a week from today.
Man, that sounds great. Thanks, guys. Merry Christmas, everyone.
All right, we'll come back. Very quick segment on halftime after this.
Live coverage of the Liberty Bowl in Memphis is brought to you by Hyperfiber. Get the fastest deal of the year. Visit hyperfiber.com. It's also brought to you by Big Cypress Lodge. Camp inside the iconic Memphis Pyramid.
Looking for easy holiday gifts for the grown-ups on your shopping list? You're in luck, and so are they. The Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is a winner wonderland. Scratch-off tickets make great gifts and start at only $1, and players win more than $1 million every day. Share the gift of winning with everyone on your list. Give scratch-offs. They're easy fun with a chance of easy money. Join the winner wonderland. Gift, scratch, and win today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is halftime.
Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and HitThatLine.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
With the new Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell, $7 goes a long way. A cheesy gordita crunch stacked with layers of luxury. A Doritos Locos Tacos, extravagantly crispy. A beefy 5-layer burrito overflowing with cheesy indulgence. It's all you want and more. For less. The new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell. It's Lux for less.
Thanks. Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Just a couple of quick hitters since we're going to have a couple pretty quick segments here before the top of the hour. It looks, Matt, like there will be another transferring offensive lineman coming into Arkansas. This one coming from Ole Miss. Kavion Broussard, a freshman who did not start this year, is the next to announce that he is transferring to the University of Arkansas. Is see 6'6", 290. He's a true freshman from New Iberia, Louisiana. And he's made the announcement himself on his social media. So
is he a tackle or a guard?
Looks to me he's got guard size. He's
Okay.
290.
290, okay.
Yeah, maybe more like an interior lineman. So let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, fourth offensive lineman to transfer in. You got McCoy from Oregon, a tackle. You got Bubba Craig, who's from a junior college lineman out of Hutchinson. There's Corey Robinson, who I think is going to be your starting right tackle. Transferring in from Georgia Tech, and now Kavion Broussard coming in from Ole Miss. I don't know where he'll fit in, but just building depth in that room.
In the words of the great philosopher C Unit, turn up.
Have you written any of your philosophy down on paper yet, C Unit? Because we could study this.
Turn up.
Yeah, turn it up. That seems to fit. I don't even believe what he's saying there. I don't believe one bit of that.
He had his Ed McMahon going until today. I don't know what happened, Ed.
Yes. See, you're gonna. Next thing you know, he's gonna be selling dog food on television commercials. 877-377-6963. If you're craving anything sweet and delicious over the holidays, and of course you are, and you're sick of eating that fruitcake, well, you got to get over to Andy's Frozen Custard. They have the greatest frozen treats around. Bring it home for the family. Pick 6, maybe even get 2 or 3 of the pick 6. Mix and match 6 of your favorite flavors for the perfect holiday treat. That's Andy's Frozen Custard. They are in Conway, East Oak Street, Dave Ward Drive, Fort Smith on Rogers Avenue, and on JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock. Matt will be celebrating with Andy's Frozen Custard today because it's Eddie Vedder's birthday. And we're back to wrap up hour number 2 of halftime after this.
Hey, it's Enrico Palazzo!
This is halftime.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Looking to build your own field of dreams? Trust the experts at Tucker Construction and Remodeling. With over 30 years of experience, we turn blueprints into reality, ensuring top quality craftsmanship in every project. From homes to commercial spaces, our dedicated team makes your vision come to life. Choose Tucker Construction and Remodeling, where your dreams are built to last. Call us today at 650-6453 or visit tuckercr.com. Mike Tucker Construction, building your field of dreams.
Happy holidays from Sharp Equipment. You may be eligible to take advantage of the year-end tax credits with buying a new Wacker Neuson before the new year. Sharp Equipment has excavators, skid steers, and other compact equipment in stock. Stop in at our yard location at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith to start your new year off right with a new Wacker Neuson. Sharp Equipment, ready to serve you in all areas of Wacker Neuson needs and more. Visit sharpequipment.com or call 479-649-0500.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Zero, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
AAA Business Systems is your printer, copier, and production print solutions provider. What makes AAA unique? Ricoh, Sharp, and Brother Equipment. Fast, friendly service from our office technology experts. All-inclusive service contracts, managed IT services, and 4 locations statewide. AAA Business Systems. Find us online at AAABM.com. AAA Business Systems. Anything else is just a copy.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Just like in soft days of yore. Here you come, I'm knocking on my door. And I've never met a girl like you before.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Notre Dame star lineman Riley Mills is out for the college football playoff with a knee injury. Leads Notre Dame in sacks and tackles for a loss. It's one of the reasons why they are where they are.
A D lineman?
It's a defensive lineman.
Ooh, man, that's brutal. How's their running back Love, their 10-5 guy that twisted an ankle late? Nothing on him, so he's good.
Yeah, I don't see anything about him yet. But you got, what is it? It's like 10 days between games, so it's a little
11 for them.
time.
Because they played the first game. Notre Dame played the first game, so they got 11 days.
You remember the backup quarterback from Penn State who went into the portal, Bo Prabula. He is going to Mizzou. You're going to be seeing him this next year. Probably he's got 2 years of eligibility. So I don't know what the schedule looks like in 2 years, but I still believe Arkansas and Mizzou will be playing until the end of time every season. So that's probably who you're going to be facing the last game of the regular season, at least next year and probably the year after.
So Brady Cook's gone. He's on to the next. So he's if I was to give him a grade right now, like a 3rd, 4th round pick, like he'll get drafted. I think somebody will take him, and you'll be a backup for a little bit.
And Prabula is kind of the same style quarterback as Cook is. The thing is you read about Prabula, what a terrible decision he had to make. This is a kid who grew up as a hardcore Penn State fan, and because of the situation and the way the calendar works for college football, he had a choice, but it was a choice that nobody should have to make. Hour number 3 of halftime on this Monday is kind of like an extra golden hour. It's our last hour until Thursday. 877-377-6963. More right after the break.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
It's that time of year. Longer nights and colder weather can mean higher energy bills. But Arkansas Oklahoma Gas wants to help you save on your energy costs this winter. A healthy heating system equals a happy home and wallet. Ensure it runs efficiently by scheduling regular maintenance with a licensed technician. Adjust ceiling fans to spin clockwise to help push warm air down. Keep your thermostat on a lower setting, health allowing, and layer up on clothing. For more money-saving tips, visit AOGC.com/winter.
Hey, Wes. Billy, hay is for horses. Are my ears that long?
Oh, you got me again. I'm gonna order a large Boss Hog pizza for fishing tomorrow.
That's a lot of food. You taking a friend?
No, sir. I'm gonna use it as bait.
Pizza as bait for fishing?
Yes'm. The catfish love 'em. Some Jim's Razorback pizza.
They do?
Yes'm. They chase the bacon faster than green grass through a goose.
Bacon? Never would have thunk it.
Yup. And they come right to the river's edge when I call them too. Woo! Fish suing!
Oh, blessed Billy. All right, son. Have fun fishing.
Jim's Razorback Pizza. Blessed to serve you. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we'll see mostly cloudy skies in the north with an isolated rain shower, while we'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies down south, highs in the mid-50s. Skies become cloudy area-wide tonight with scattered rain showers, lows in the lower 40s. Cloudy on Tuesday with rain and some thunder likely, highs around 50. Cloudy with scattered rain showers Tuesday night, lows in the lower 50s. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Fight like hell for the University of Arkansas the entire time that I'm the head coach.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that the perspective.
If I'm all right. One can't stay dominate, and we not doing it.
We're gonna go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Matt Jones, take it to the dunk.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What ain't but one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Turn it.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Hi, hello, good afternoon, and welcome back into halftime. You're listening to ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for the holidays. Matt Jones in our ESPN Arkansas headquarters. Colton Little, C45, has taken over in the producer's chair. And, guys, there's snow on the ground out here at the ancestral homeland. Not going to snow while we're here, but it snowed on Saturday. Nice to be home for the holidays, broadcasting in my old bedroom. I think I moved out of this bedroom, Matt, at like the age of 7 upstairs. Man, it's just a little bit weird to be back here doing radio again. But it's great to be back. And this is our last hour until Thursday. What a weird, schedule we've got for this week. Saturday and Sunday, no show. We work today, nothing tomorrow, nothing on Christmas Day. So this isn't Monday. This doesn't feel like a Monday. This isn't a day of the week of any sort of thing. This is like, you know what this is? This is like a bowl game. It's almost like the Liberty Bowl. And I'm not saying that with any negative connotation towards it. It's not part of the season you just finished.
It's a bowl game in the 80s, though. It still means something because we didn't have our third, which I don't know that I have a third stringer, but they probably find somebody to come in here and do this, But yeah,
they probably could.
Yeah,
I think it's a bowl
starters, game. I want to play.
I think it's a bowl game that matters to the people who are playing in it. No doubt.
That's right. Like kind of maybe what Coach Prime did. He said his top two guys are playing: Shedeur Sanders and Travis Williams.
Travis Hunter.
I get those two guys.
Yeah, it's okay. First name.
Travis Williams could still play, though. 100%.
I mean, you know what?
Bet you could.
He'd probably give him one more series.
Bet you he could. Yeah, I think the Liberty Bowl means something. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't mean anything about what we just watched, about the previous 12 games. It's a different team that you're putting on the field. And it's a different team than what Texas Tech had. They've got more players sticking around than Arkansas does, but it's a different thing. It's like a standalone season. Like this is a standalone day, in a 5-day period where we're only working once. But earlier in the show, Eddie in Clarksville called up and said what he wanted for Christmas was a Liberty Bowl win. And the feeling like that's going to give you some sort of positive momentum moving forward, and I don't really know if it does. I know Arkansas beat Kansas in a Liberty Bowl 2 years ago and then went on to go 4-8. So there wasn't any momentum that carried into the offseason from that. All it is it's a good way to end December. It's just to at least get a win. But maybe you can take a little bit momentum into the offseason if you play well. It didn't happen 2 years ago. I guess it just depends on, really part of it is who are you going to sign in January? They've got all these visits coming in January once the bowl game is over. So that'll have more to do about whatever momentum you got going into the offseason than the result of a bowl game. But hey, the people who choose to play in this game, the coaches that are there, the fans who make their choice to spend their money and make the effort to go there, absolutely it matters something to those people. And I think it matters to you if you're listening to the show right now. I'll be there. It matters to me. I'd love to see them go out and win.
Who in the two deep are you excited to watch, Phil? I'm excited to watch the 30-year-old, but I bring it back to this. Quincy McAdoo, if you remember a couple years ago in the bowl game, how good of a bowl game he had, and I know he was changing positions and doing that, but you were excited for the next year when you saw him. Who is somebody on this team that you're like, I'm kind of excited to see? Maybe they flash across the screen somebody to build for next year.
Well, so you're choosing someone on the offensive
Rodney
side.
Hill. Rodney
Harrison.
Hill would be another one. I want to see. Okay, these running backs we got right here. Somebody that can be in the stable. Somebody that I can count on to have 8, 9, 10 touches a game. Is Rodney Hill going to be that guy?
I want to see if any of the guys who are starting at end can get to the quarterback now. I'm interested to watch Quincy Rhodes Jr. and Charlie Collins. I know Collins is behind Junkaj on the depth chart, and Rhodes is up front on the depth chart. And the one thing you really want to have going into next year is the feeling that there's a pass rush and somebody that can win a one-on-one battle. And maybe Ken Talley, who they've signed or going to sign out of Michigan State, can do that. Maybe the defensive end out of Florida, Justice Boone, can do that. It's just you haven't necessarily seen it yet. Rhodes got a considerable amount of playing time as the season went on, and I think there's something to work with there. Same thing with Charlie Collins, though Rhodes got a little bit more playing time in that sense. So I'll look on the offensive side and say I'd like to see those two guys. And then, who else was I thinking of here? Also at wide receiver, Shamar Easter. Tight end moved to wide receiver. And I just don't remember, seeing Shamar do much at all over these past couple of years. I think the talent's there for him to maybe play on the outside. And there's somebody that got virtually no offensive snaps, and I bet you he gets a good amount of offensive snaps in the Liberty Bowl. So that's why, who was it that brought this, what these games feel like now? Was it Bill King? It's like these are almost like preseason games because you're looking at the depth that's been with you throughout the season. It's just guys that haven't had a chance to go out there and play very much, or the number of snaps they would get on a game-by-game basis is about to be increased fivefold. So, that's why I don't watch a lot of NFL preseason. But I can appreciate those who do, that are hardcores with their teams, or maybe you're trying to do a little research into the fantasy teams. But that's almost what this is in a sense. You'll have an idea of maybe, whether or not Rhodes has improved as the season's gone on, because he'll get more snaps in the Liberty Bowl than he would have gotten in about 4 or 5 games combined. Who out there are our listeners excited to get a look at? 877-377-6963. Brandon says he's excited to see Ian Giffard, who's big kid up front, defensive tackle. He got quite a lot of snaps this year. That's somebody that I think you're looking at as a big-time run stuffer moving forward. He and Kevy Rose, I think, will get a lot of snaps at that spot. So I think that's a good choice from Brandon. Hogfan12 in Ozark says he's interested in watching C.J. Brown. Mm-hmm. Man, this is a huge game for Brown.
Big redemption arc. Big redemption arc.
Well, I mean, I understand where you're going at there, because we remember the 2 plays, like the one that went right through his hands and then the fumble. Was that against LSU? Texas. It was Texas. That's right. But, man, I mean, it's the same idea. He didn't get many balls thrown his way this year. And the 2 that we remember are 2 of maybe 3 or 4 that came his way. He's going to get many more opportunities. And then, therefore, it's an opportunity for us as fans to remember him a different way. I think it's a good choice, too. Anybody else that you guys are interested in seeing here on our text line?
I guess as a unit, as a group, how many of these offensive linemen feel that are going to start this Liberty Bowl? How many are we expected to be in the 2 deep? That's kind of or do we have other guys coming in? Are we expecting anything out of this group of offensive linemen that are playing? Is Carmona playing?
Springdale, yes, he is. Carmona will be at left tackle. Christian Springdale just said one of the people I think that you're just talking about here, Kobe Branham. Branham, 6'5", 331-pound, starting right guard for this Liberty Bowl. I think they expect he's going to be the starting right guard once you get to next season. So if you were to look at one offensive lineman that didn't get many snaps throughout the year, and I know Branham got some snaps, that would be the guy. That would be the guy. I don't know if it's an audition for next season, because I think spring ball, that's going to be the next thing, and that's what you're going to go by that point. But that's the one. If you're to look at one person on the line, it's Kobe Branham. And Christian Springdale was right over that. And Hog Wild thinks he's going to be your right guard for the next 2-3 years. As long as you pay him properly, that's probably right.
I don't know that the secondary got hurt very much in terms of the transfer portal and players leaving, but I did remember Selman Bridges jumping in and then coming back to the team. I'd be interested to see if his role is going to grow now in the Liberty Bowl, or if he's still kind of just getting mostly what has been not as much run as I think a player that looks really good every time I've seen him on the field should get. So Selman Bridges will be one I'm looking forward to watching.
It looks like he's still third on the depth chart at that cornerback spot behind Hudson Clark and Shaheem Singletary, but I wonder if that has anything to do with jumping into the portal and then coming out of the portal. And then I know Sam Pittman's got a presser later today. I think it's 4:30 in the afternoon. I mean, you got to ask about, is Braylon Russell available for this Liberty Bowl? I mean, he just announced he's coming back. It was a couple of days ago. Does he join the team in Memphis?
Absolutely. Let's go. Get your helmet. Even if you're not playing, you're part of this team. Let's go. You're a leader. He's a guy that's going to be on the cover of the media guide next year. He has to understand that there's a higher responsibility being a Razorback football player this year than it was last year. So whoever's around him, hopefully they're giving him good advice, but he's supposed to be a captain and a leader. Let's go. Be with your teammates. Do things the right way, because like it or not, when you're the starting running back for the Razorbacks, you're the starting quarterback for the Hogs, starting free. People look at you and they're gonna kind of go by the way you go and take on your idea. I mean, they watch you and they're very aware. So Braylon Russell is gonna have to be a leader. So I hope he's ready for that.
Well, and also in terms of just available running backs, like, you really want to split the whole game between Rodney Hill and Terrell Reed. Nothing against those two. It's just they hadn't been running very much. If you get the kid who's probably your number one running back next year, even if he isn't practiced for the last week or so, I'm hoping he's still in proper shape of some sort.
You have goal line packages for him. Have 3rd and 1 package. Yeah, you have something for him so he's ready to go. Unless he just had surgery. Did he just have surgery or something to clean up? Yeah, he's got to be a part of the team.
Got to have that bigger back in there because Reed and Hill aren't very big. You got to have, a thoroughbred, and you got to have your Clydesdale.
Those are the smaller guys. That's right. 877-377-6963. Who, if we were to force you to choose one player that you are very interested in watching in this Liberty Bowl, who is it? Matt, you took the one I would have chosen, which is Monte Harrison. I mean, this is a 30-year-old wide receiver that it feels like this year was more about a reintroduction to football. Of
kind of getting your body right.
Yeah. Maybe next year's the season where he'll get the opportunity to actually show what it is he can do, as he hadn't played football for over 10 years. 877-377-6963 if you want to hit on any of that. For decades, the Rebel Crawfish has been a tackle box staple, but now got to get ready for the next generation. We introduced the new matte series of Rebel Crawfish. 4 all-new ultra matte colors. They eliminate glare and enhance realism. You get to mimic a natural crawfish like never before. It's the same iconic shape and swimming action, but now with a stunning matte finish. So upgrade to the all-new matte series of Rebel Crawfish today at Walmart, Bass Pro, Dick's Sporting Goods, and local tackle shops everywhere. Rebel, catch fish anywhere. And stay with Halftime. We are right back after this.
It'll be like this one time at band camp.
This is Halftime.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Well, I'm with you, so I mean, I cherish every. It's charitable every moment, as you said earlier. It's cherishable.
No, yeah,
my time is charitable.
No, Tommy, it's charitable, not charitable. It's charitable.
Yeah. Weekdays from 9 to 11, only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
To $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Unto us a child is given, and his name shall be Wonderful, Counselor, Emmanuel, God with us. Mike Blaylock with Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. From all of our families here at Blaylock, we would like to wish you and your family a very, very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year.
Todd Richardson here at Wheeler Power Sports as we gear up for Christmas. Simon, you're the guy to come see.
We have new inventory in stock such as the Kawasaki Mule 4010, Kawasaki KX 450 SR, KO S70, Polaris Ranger Crew XP 1000 North Star and Camo, and the Polaris Sportsman 570 Hunting Edition. Give us a call or text us at 479-783-5822.
901 North 11th Street in downtown Fort Smith, Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They're open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts need, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I found you in the bathtub with your clothing on. Oh, so what? Your mother didn't number, so I get gloves of rubber to clean up the spill. I'm begging you, please do it down. I miss your talk. I miss the taste of your tongue. No, I wish your love was enough.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Back on Halftime here, 877-377-6963. If you would like to get with us anytime here on our weird sort of like golden hour sort of thing on a Festivus Monday. Anybody got any grievances out there that you want to air? I mean, I feel pretty good about things today. I put Charlie and Eddie on the spot. They said they don't have a problem with anybody. You guys only saw the texts about you. I'm kidding. Would never actually put those things out there for you. I mean, we could have a problem with college football for just this chaos that the sport is engulfed in, where no other sport in America feels like this. I mean, the NBA has all sorts of problems with their ratings right now and trying to find ways to keep their stars interested in playing in the regular season. But it's not a league that needs to be saved. Major League Baseball is changing some rules to try to get people back to the game, and it's working piece by piece. The NFL is a juggernaut. You don't have to change a thing about that. College basketball doesn't need to be fixed. College baseball doesn't need to be fixed. Nobody talks about those sorts of things. It's only college football. I mean, that is it. This is the one sport that I think you look at and say it's broken, but it isn't broken in a way where it turns people off to where they're not going to watch it. I don't know what the ratings are for the playoff, Matt. I mean, it'll be interesting to see, however they figure out what the drop was in viewership after halftime in all four of those games. But if you were to go by the first half, you just know the ratings are going to be off the charts for this. And that's what matters to the television partners. So in their mind, why change anything? People are going to watch. But you do want to have better games in the first round. It's just those were not – we were excited about it. It just reminded me of like 2/3 of the Super Bowls from when I was a kid. It's like we're all fired up about this thing, but it's a big old dud. And then you're just interested in what's on the plate, what's next to eat.
Well, styles make fights, and you talk about NBA and viewership being down. When a 21-year-old vet is your biggest superstar, that's not a good thing. You got to have they're not marketing the Jason Tatum's such an bona fide superstar, and you don't even hear about him. It's kind of like they're the Spurs, but styles make fights, and a lot of the NBA teams, especially. Like the bottom fit, they all do the same exact thing. It's this analytic home run walk type baseball thing that's like everybody's doing the same thing. It's like You gotta have it. Just if everybody's doing, it's not any. Nobody wants to watch it, and I think that's what baseball struggles with, and I think that's what the NBA struggles with exactly. And then the playoff deal, it's starting to feel like everybody gets a participation ribbon. We're gonna let 24 teams in, and that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a lot of just the games. Somebody's gonna get hurt. You're gonna get a lot of blowouts, and it's just, do you do a thing where you say you get your pods? And if they're 11-team pods, that means you play everybody in your pod, so you'd play 10 games. And then if you have 32 teams make it to the playoffs, that means the most any team would play would be 15 games. And you take out all the conference championship games. 2 teams would play 15 games. 4 teams would play 14 games. So you do that right. I mean, that's a simple – and then you could have 8, 9, 12 pods. I mean, you could have a lot of 11-team pods that could go in there. You play everybody, and then you figure out who's going to be the 32. I don't think they're going to do it. It's like, what do they do with the NFL? 12-game season, 14-game season, 16-game, 17-game season. We'll take a preseason game. So maybe you don't get to play your FCS opponent, your gimme win. But do you see a chance where these conference championship games go away? Because they probably should.
Yeah, they probably should. It's just the money involved in them is
that's
too much. Your
it. The money involved
about the pods with 11 teams, and you're all playing the same game, the same amount of games. The conference schedules are really the reason why we are where we are, and the bloated conferences. That's the other thing. If you really want to have like a grievance here for college football, it's you do not need to have 18 or 16 team leagues. The problem is this thing just happened. It's not like you're going to go back to the way it was before. Can you blow the system up and start all over? Well, the SEC and Big Ten do not appear to be very interested in doing that. Ryan has called us on I-40. Good afternoon, Ryan, and happy Festivus. What's going on today?
Oh, we found out that Indiana really is a basketball school. And
or a journalism school, if you want to go that direct, because their basketball right now is just so-so.
We got a player that's 30.
That's right. Wide receiver Monte Harrison.
Number 82.
So from NIL to Social Security, I don't know.
Well,
that's, 30 years old. That's NFL age, right?
Get an NIL deal.
But Ryan, do you know the story behind Monte Harrison?
No idea.
Okay, so he played Major League Baseball. He was a baseball player first, and then trying his hand at college football.
So he never stepped away from competition. He was keeping
Right.
his body in shape and still competing.
Heavily recruited coming out of high school for football, and so he's giving football a shot.
Oh.
Okay, thanks, Ryan. Appreciate that. Great phone call. 877-377-6963. Yeah, it's way too logical, I think, when it comes to your thoughts on college football, because the way that the way that it is right now, they just got to it, and again, Sankey and Petitti, the commissioners of the Big Ten and the SEC, the real power brokers in college football now. There's every time that there's supposed to be a meeting of this like Super League committee that wants to put this thing together, and the Big 12 and the ACC and the Group of Five are interested in it, the Big 10 and SEC are like, okay, that's cute what you guys are doing over here. We don't need to be a part of that. So all of these ideas we have, they're great ideas. I just don't know if it's going to change until Nick Saban gets involved, right? If he's going to be the commissioner, like you are the commissioner of our bowl competition, Matt, you get to make up the rules. If Saban made up the rules, I mean, he's been banging the SEC drum all season long.
Do you think anybody that calls Saban Alabama Jones that he ever acknowledges that you're an actual human being for the rest of your life? I really feel like when that happened, I was like, Saban will never acknowledge that dude is breathing air ever again.
I mean, does that mean that Gillis might have referred to Vince Lombardi as like Green Bay Jones, given that opportunity? So Nick Saban could kill somebody with the look in his eyes.
No, well, he could have somebody else do it for him is the thing. Yeah, he's like, hey.
It's a gutsy thing to say, right? Alabama Jones over here.
That was a gangster hat he had on, though. That was funny. Did you see your boy Pat McAfee on the site? So I watched the ESPN2 version of the game, the Ohio State-Tennessee game, and me and my buddy watching it. It was when's the first F-bomb, and it was like within the first 5 minutes that Matt Pack, and then there was another one that I'll have to tell you off the air because I won't say it because I always do this radio show like my mama's listening, even if she's not.
And she is most of the time.
But most of the time, but I won't say that. But there was another joke, and we had to rewind it to say there's no way that they let this guy. They had to be on the sauce a little bit. I think they were feeling it was so cold. They might have had a little nip of naughty water in their jacket.
Keep in mind the way the season started for those folks was over in Dublin, Ireland. Remember what they were doing before that game? They were literally getting
pints
trashed.
of Guinness, yeah.
Yes, I mean the day after McAfee was so hungover, I was like, how the heck is this guy hosting his show? Maybe he's always like this. By the way, I'm in his ancestral hometown as well, McAfee from right here in Pittsburgh. Other folks have been texting in players that they're very interested in watching for this Liberty Bowl. Wes and Harrison said KJ Jackson.
Hey, I'm with you. That might be the second guy, Phil. I want to know what we have in our backup quarterback, and what better in a Jamboree standalone game. Like seriously, when we're thinking about it in the perspective of what are we building for next year, what do we want to see? I want to see KJ Jackson have at minimum 2 series in the first half. Not mop up duty when it matters. When you're going, you got it when the lights are. I mean, when you're down 17 or up 17, at the fourth quarter, it doesn't feel the same. I'd love to see the backup quarterback get a little bit of run. Just you got to know. You got to know. Hey, do we have to go get another one, or is this the guy that we know we can go with and count on?
Yeah, that's like so. If you're Sam Pittman, do you think he views it that way? Because it'd be a wild card at that point. What will happen with this kid if we put him into a game like this where the game could potentially be on the line? It's like, all right, sink or swim. The feeling would be you need to do it now so that you have a sense of what happens when he's put in the same situation next September, if it happens, right?
100%.
That's what you're talking about.
You want to see live bullets. We saw Singleton get in that first game, Phil, against Auburn, and what he do? He had a guy wide open and threw it in the dirt. But it's because he hadn't. And you even said it. It was the speed kind of got to him at first because that was his first live rep. And the thing about these quarterbacks, Phil, if you're first, second, third year outside of high school, you haven't taken a live rep. You go 2, 3, 4 years without taking a live rep. It's tough, and it's tough to catch back up. So you need to see the kid get out there 2, 3 series on some live reps because there's no battle. We know who the starting quarterback is. We know it's Taylor Green. I mean, come on. So, but let's see that we need to see that we know whose team it is. But you need to see the backup play some meaningful. Absolutely.
Hey, Santa's Little Helpers are making their way from the North Pole to Twin Peaks all week long. Actually, that's through tomorrow, so it's not all week long. They got one more day to get this going. Red Hot Costume Party, specials on favorite drafts and cocktails, and much more. Also make plans to be at Twin Peaks for New Year's Eve. Blingin' in the New Year features a lingerie costume change and sweet deals on champagne all day long. Twin Peaks, of course, is found in Rogers. They feature 29-degree draft beer made from scratch fan favorites and sports blasting from every angle. Get the ultimate game day experience at Twin Peaks or go online, twinpeaksrestaurant.com. More TVs, bigger screens, and, of course, scenic views. Always more to watch at Twin Peaks. And we're back into the home stretch of a Monday golden hour sort of a thing here on a Jamboree Monday. It's halftime, and we're right back.
Live coverage of the Liberty Bowl in Memphis is brought to you by Hyperfiber. Get the fastest deal of the year. Visit hyperfiber.com. It's also brought to you by Big Cypress Lodge. Camp inside the iconic Memphis Pyramid.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Herod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Hey, Tom Richardson for Jam Mart. Brad Tyson and their entire team are so thankful this time of year during the holidays. We appreciate all of our customers that enjoy the beverage bar at Boonville, the hot food at Phoenix, and the deli at Jam Mart number 10. We know you're loving the updated pumps at our gas stations, and we're continuing to strive to find new creative ways to improve every single day. If you love Jam Mart, please leave us a 5-star review on Google. Happy holidays from your friends at Jam Mart.
With the new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell, luxury is all in the details. A cheesy gordita crunch with the crisp bite of a crunchy taco wrapped in a pillowy flatbread. A beefy 5-layer burrito with seasoned beef stacked on velvety melted cheese. A crunchy taco, chips and nacho cheese sauce, and a medium drink. All for just $7. Live Lux for less today at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks exclude free tax extra.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Early in the evening, yeah, across the town, over by the courthouse, it's starting to unwind. 4 kids on the corner, trying to bring you up. Really big that tune out, and it goes on the down in the street, man,
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Back on halftime here, C45 Colton Little is producing. Did I see photos that you put up last night, or was it family members? Colton, did you guys do like your whole
Oh
gift
yeah, we had a whole extravaganza. That's my dad's side of the family. They're local from here in Fort Smith, and we cram about, this year is a few less, but we cram about 25 people into a little 3 or 4 bedroom house.
Yeah, it
over
looked
there.
like some big circle. Everybody sitting shoulder by shoulder, and I couldn't tell who was you because all the men looked identical.
Well, yeah, I was the one taking the picture, but yeah, and so you're missing about 10 or 15, I could probably say 10 people that are not visible in the kitchen behind that, but Yes, I had a great Christmas with my grandparents over there. They've been doing that for years since I was a kid. And if I can just be vulnerable for just a second, fellas, if you wouldn't let me mind, it's been a really rough holiday season. It's not the easiest for folks. I've been working a lot, and to have those moments with my family is just a great reminder of what the Christmas season is about. I've been doing that since I was a kid. It was very nostalgic and enjoyable for me, so I loved it and definitely got me more in the Christmas spirit after that. It was awesome. Great time.
Good. It's a good vulnerable moment. I'm glad you're able to have that. Yes, we want to be around family this time of the year. I mean, it makes perfect sense. The thing is, Matt, if I put all of the little men up on a wall and you were to tell me to choose Colton out of all of them, I wouldn't be able to tell who's who. They literally all looked identical.
I think all the men in that picture is my uncle straight across from me in the picture, my grandfather in the caddy corner chair with the, he's the one being demonstrative, using his hands, making a grand speech, and then my dad right next to him to his left. That's the typical
Now,
setup.
I've met
They haven't
Colton's-
moved.
I've shaken his dad's hand before, so I've met his pops. Yeah,
So a good strong
people.
shake,
Yeah,
good strong
man,
handshake,
good people. Yeah.
He's a nice guy, Matt. He told me, hey, you're working with Matt Jones, right? And you need to ask him about this story. And it's the same story that he told you whenever you met him. So, yeah, he's been around the block. He's a good guy. But I enjoyed it. And yes, we're all built very similarly, tall, thin. We usually have a very noticeable, distinct Adam's apple too. So that's just a blessing and a curse.
It's more like an Adam's grapefruit instead of an apple.
Yes, I guess one step up above an apple, maybe. Mm-hmm.
Dan in Mount Ida has a job interview today, guys. He's listening to us on his way to the job interview. Dan, you got to be listening to better radio programs.
Turn up, Dan.
If you actually want to get a job, you want to listen to intelligent people. No, good luck. Good luck. It's a job interview on Festivus.
Turn up. Yeah, let's get it.
If you walk into the interview and there's a giant pole in the middle of the room, I'd turn around and walk out. Go find another place to work.
How about we interview you?
Yeah, Panned. I think there's a silent D. At the end. Now the tuxedos are really starting to freak me out.
They're kind of weird.
Well, that's the thing about job interviews is that usually you get to be the one who's asking the questions too.
That tastes like ketchup, onion.
I have no idea where this one came from.
Onion and ketchup.
If I were to air a quick grievance here on our one and only Matt Jones, it's that I miss probably 75% of your show lines, your movie lines, your music lines, and here it was. I thought I had a handle on some pop culture stuff, and I've had you on the show for the last 2 years, and it turns out I don't know a damn thing.
You're busy with kids and 2 jobs. I don't have your type of schedule, so it's a little bit, but it's nice to have 45 come in, and he can kind of, because I'll keep throwing them out there for you until you tell me not to, and I think the way when you do. You're not supposed to sit there and explain what movie it came from, right?
No.
If nobody, you just kind of keep going with the conversation. Yeah.
Explaining jokes means it's no longer funny.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like.
May I also just make a Festivus observation? I hadn't thought of this until right now because I think C45 gets about 100, maybe 95% of the things you throw out there. I think you and Colton may share half a brain.
Uh-oh. I hope you have
it's a thick and twisted labyrinth either way you look at it. One half or either half, both parts were. Yeah, but I think sometimes me and Matt we do. I try my best every day to pick a song that'll make Matt Jones do a little groove. That's literally my goal. And I always make sure to fade the camera in after he's sat down. But that's my goal every day. If I can do that, then I've done my job. And I've done that. Usually it's 3 out of 5 days of the week.
He has his rate is about what Ricky Henderson steals bases at. So he's got it. He's got it going on.
If you got to steal about 80% successfully for your base stealing to mean something, then in order to really be a proper producer on a show, you got to get about 80% of the movie quotes and sports quotes that Matt throws at you. Shoot. So I don't know. What do you think Christian gets? You think he's at about a 60, 54? Ty Richardson, he didn't even know who Ricky Henderson was when I brought it up. So I'd say I'd put Ty at like a 25% rate, maybe Colton at a 50% rate.
Take 50%. That makes me a Hall of Famer, I'd say. I'd take that. Ricky had 60 before the break.
You hear that story? Oh, I got to find that one. It's Harold Reynolds talking about. I got to look that one up so that I can play it. I mean, it's a quick one. I love these Ricky Henderson stories.
There was a John Olerud story where he goes up the next year. He goes, yeah, we had a guy that wore a hard hat at first base too, and he goes, Ricky, that was me. I was on your team last year.
Here's the Harold Reynolds story.
I won the stolen base title. the first and only time anybody in the 80s outside of Ricky won stolen base title. Ricky's still at 120, 110 a year. Ricky got hurt like in May, and I think he had like 30. So it comes down to the last day of the year. Willie Wilson has 59. I have 59. I steal a base. Willie Wilson goes 0 for 5. I win the title. Monday morning, phone rings. I go over and pick up the phone. Henderson here. Ricky never speaks in third person regardless. Henderson here. I said, hey, what's up, Rick? What's going on, man? He says, 60 stolen bases. You ought to be ashamed. Ricky has 60 at the All-Star break. Click. Hung up.
I think there was only one of him. And you look throughout Ricky's career, the fewest amount of bases he stole to lead a league was 58. Ellie De La Cruz led the majors in steals this year with 67. The last year that Ricky led the major leagues in stolen bases, and by the way, he was 39 years of age when he did this, 66 steals at age 39.
What do you think was more impressive, Phil, when you think Tom Brady, LeBron James, Ricky Henderson? We're seeing these guys over that age of 38, 39, 40 and the success they have. Where do you put Ricky up there at that age?
That's craziness. You know, and then even the next year he stole 37 bases and then stole 36 bases at the age of 41. That's craziness, Matt. Because and he would dive head first. I don't think he ever slid feet first. He was known for always going head first, and it's got a little bit more of a toll on you. But what an athlete he was! Hit the most game leadoff home runs in the history of the sport, more runs scored than anybody. And you remember when he broke the record? We broke the record for runs scored. He did it with a home run, and he slid into home plate. He told his teammates, if I had a home run for the record-breaking run, I'm going to slide into home plate, and he did that. And he's the only person in the history of the sport who could actually pull that off. I guess maybe Prince Fielder did it for a walk-off in the playoffs once when they made it look like bowling, but he got criticized for it. People would criticize Ricky, but there was only one of him. And, you know, some of the teams he played on, those late 80s A's teams with McGuire, Canseco, Dave Stewart, Eck, LaRussa, the manager, Carney Lansford, third base. Those are some of the best teams I ever remember watching. And the personalities were amazing. And Ricky probably had the most memorable of all of those personalities. Man, it just hit me hard. It's just some of those deaths that just hit you hard. 65 is still young. Ricky's birthday is Christmas Day.
Oh.
Yeah, he would have turned 66 Christmas Day. And one of the more interesting things about him is that, and you don't find this, he batted right-handed and threw left-handed. It's usually the other way around. I mean, think about it. With his speed, why wouldn't he be batted left-handed? He batted right-handed. And I think he's the only position player in the Hall of Fame who threw lefty and batted righty. Just more things about him that make him one of the most unique players in the history of the sport.
Did you something I just saw, Phil? So I know last week, when did you see Brock Purdy had given his offensive linemen the Tundras and the Sequoia? I mean, this Toyota, but it was like 10 cars, trucks, the big boss. So your boy Joe Burrow, he said his offensive line wanted a weapon, like a gun or some type of hunting rifle. You know, something AR, whatever they wanted. So he said he doesn't really know how to get down with the guns and all that. So he got him Kill Bill style. He got him samurai swords. All his offensive linemen, he got samurai swords, which pretty cool. I mean, I know they're not going to make the playoffs or whatever, and it's not their offensive lineman's fault. But that's a pretty cool gift.
Look at this blade. Pretty recognizable signature.
And I got Randy Jackson to sign it. You're not going to get him to sign it if you see him in the mall.
But I also wonder, it's like I usually ask people, like, what is it you think you'd like for a holiday gift? Does somebody actually say, oh, I'd like one of those samurai swords I saw on your wall? Though I don't, maybe Olivia, his live-in assistant, might have been able to use that samurai sword.
Protection.
Exactly right. Yep. Maybe that's what it's all about. You know, if Burrow's got his house broken into, and you get all these other NFL and NBA players too, the samurai sword has to act on its own, though, when the players are out of town. Either that, or we all need a live-in assistant.
Well, hey, you're not quarterbacks for the Cincinnati Bengals, though. Yeah.
What did I see about Mahomes? Mahomes got his offensive lineman. What did it say? He got him a watch. Yeah, like $5,500 per player on just the watch. But the thought is that he got more. A Rolex, Normatec recovery boots, Lucchese boots, Oakley's a Yeti cooler. You might as well, I mean, all the things that Mahomes got for his offensive lineman, you might as well have him put together a gift bag for the Liberty Bowl because you get some of the same stuff.
My last year that I, was able to kind of go through a fall practice like August was Cincinnati Bengals at camp. And Carson Palmer for camp got all the offensive linemen Segways so they didn't have to walk to meetings because you kind of spread out on the compound. So all his offensive linemen had Segways for camp.
Those things
I
are
love
fast.
it.
Well, and if you don't, if you don't know how to ride a Segway, you might bust it once or twice. So you kind of, that would be the thing. You don't want to sprain an ankle.
When I worked for the Travelers, we got a Segway for our groundskeeper, who also, fixed everything around the ballpark so he wouldn't have to walk late at night, just have a Segway. What that thing turned into in the offseason was the biggest waste of time for the voice of the Travelers because I would just try to break my own personal land speed record on a Segway going from the back of the home plate stands all the way around the concourse to the back of the home plate stands again. I mean, I would do that 8 times a day. They didn't fire me. I don't know. Maybe it was actually in my job description, but it was a lot of fun. I would take a Segway for Hanukkah. You think I could drive that thing from Little Rock all the way to Fayetteville? Might be a little bit difficult to pull that off. Hey, we'll wrap up the show in just a moment on halftime.
His mama named him Clay. I'm going to call him Clay.
It's countdown to Christmas sale time at Jelco Outdoors. Buy one item of clothing and get a second item of clothing of equal or lesser value at 50% off. Great brands like Ariat, Wrangler, Sitka, Drake, Pursuit Gear Sitlock, Under Armour, Non-Typical, and many more. Save 25% off all Yeti and Yukon Outfitter ice chests, coolers, tumblers, and cups. Hey Dude Footwear. Buy one pair, get a second pair 50% off. A Jelco gift card is always a perfect fit. Don't miss the countdown to Christmas sale. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Are you looking for a Christmas gift idea for the avid angler in your life? Swing by Make Awake Bait and Tackle and let them set you up with a new Daiwa rod or reel. Make Awake has all the stocking stuffers for the angler in your life, like Strike King, Pinger Minnow, Spro Rock Crawler, the Yum Flash Mob Jr., and more. If you're not sure, let the guys at Make Awake Bait and Tackle on 803 North 11th Street next to Wicks Marine in Fort Smith set you up with a gift card. Make Awake Bait and Tackle, here to help you with your favorite angler's bait and tackle. Be sure and check out our Facebook, and Merry Christmas.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad
Tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Christmas is the time of year for being with the ones we love, sharing so much joy and cheer. What a wonderful feeling, watching the ones we love having so much fun. I was sitting by the fireside.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I love this song, but all of a sudden I'm seeing Chevy Chase with a purple wrap on the top of his head falling through a ceiling. And it reminds me, I've watched one Christmas movie, right, so far, and all it's been has been Love Actually. So I got to get to Die Hard, I got to get to Christmas Vacation, got to get to Home Alone, got to get to Christmas Story. By this time, I've usually watched it like 8 times. I haven't seen it once. What's wrong with me?
Donnie Brasco.
Christmas movie?
Absolutely. When he comes home and she goes, the kids are there because I wanted some time with you. That's Christmas. That's right. Don't act like you don't remember that scene.
No,
Yeah.
I saw that movie right when it
He
hit
goes,
HBO.
Donnie, dang it, close the window. You want me to catch a draft?
All I remember is Penelope Ann Miller. That's about it.
Absolutely.
And Benny Blanco from the Bronx.
Annette Being. Oh, my goodness.
That was good stuff. Well, I mean, we get a couple of days before we get back on the air here.
Hey,
so-
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, Phil. You know, I enjoy working with you, man. It's pretty cool.
Same here. Hope you have a very Merry Christmas, Matt, and Colton, to you too, and Christian, and all of our everyone else who works here on ESPN Arkansas. And again, this is a unique year because Hanukkah, my holiday, starts on Christmas Day. I actually don't remember that happening. I'm sure it's happened in the 47 years I've been alive, but it's the first time I really remember it. So I don't know if I get anything, though, just kind of bringing the kids here as the present, right?
Yeah. Thankful spirit. Got to go. You know, sometimes we do this show every day, and sometimes it's the best part of my day, you know, so we have a good time.
The warm embrace of kith and kin.
Woo.
Are there ever any days that you don't feel like that? Maybe once a month. That's about it. Well, we really appreciate everybody calling in today and for listening and for texting. For those who celebrate, a very Merry Christmas or a Happy Hanukkah. If you don't, hope you just have a good couple of days. And we'll do this all over again on Thursday when we get you set for the Liberty Bowl. We did a little bit of that stuff today. But Sam Pittman speaks later on in the afternoon, so I think by the time that press conference is finished, we'll have a much better idea as to what the plans are for the rest of the week and for that game, and maybe even for spring ball, because I'm assuming there'll be some questions about guys who've come in from the portal. Ruskin and Zach are coming up in just a few minutes. Our Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast will be ready for you right about when they get on the air. And be safe and have a lot of fun out there. So for Matt Jones, Colton Little, Christian Johnston, and everybody else at our ESPN Arkansas studios, Thanks for listening to Halftime today. We'll be back with you on Monday. Now get up, get out, and get better.
Oh.